home retailer. Visit our show homes located in Edmonton and Grand Prairie, as well as an award-winning community in Morinville. Come see the difference yourself at our sales and decor centers. Tour a large selection of show homes and start building your dream home with us today. Jandel Homes, celebrating 50 years in business. Visit us online at jandelhomes.com.
Hey, how close are you? We got more loads to pick up.
Just got here. I'll try to pick up the pace, but we just don't have enough trailers.
I knew I should have rented more semi-trailers for this job.
Hit the road and get the advantage with Advantage Trailer Rentals. Daily, weekly, or even monthly rental purchase options available. Units to haul gravel, grain, construction, logging, ag, fluids, freight, and more. Conveniently located in Edmonton, Whitecourt, and Grand Prairie. Or online at AdvantageTrailerRentals.com.
It's our year-end clearance at Direct Workwear, your trusted source for PPE. Gear up and save on FR clothing, jackets, work boots, and more. Start your year off with more savings on all of these and in-store clearances. Need embroidery or alterations? We do that too. Don't miss out. Visit Direct Workwear on Gateway Boulevard today. Open 7 days a week. Direct Workwear, protecting you from head to toe for less.
You know what makes your home reno even better? Saving a ton of money on floors. Hey, it's Ashley from Ashley Fine Floors, and we just did our inventory and are overstocked with vinyl plank. We need to clear it out, and that means huge cost savings for you. So come to Ashley Fine Floors and find the perfect floor that'll bring your vision to life. Plus, financing is available. Head to Ashley Fine Floors at 14340 111th Ave or online at ashleyfinefloors.com.
When you have unwanted jewelry, head to Aaron Buys Gold and get cash today. And with gold trading at a high level, now is the perfect time to sell. Aaron Buys Gold makes it easy to recycle anything made of gold or silver, from jewelry to coins to watches. They pride themselves on their honest and transparent service, so you know you're getting great value. Head to Aaron Buys Gold in Sherwood Park or downtown, and online at aaronbuysgold.com.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe in the wisdom of Patch Adams. Treat a disease, you'll win, you'll lose. Treat a person, I guarantee you'll win no matter what the outcome. We don't treat conditions, we treat people. From personalized treatment plans to compassionate care, we're committed to helping you achieve your goals. That's why hands-on techniques, unique technologies, and a commitment to hiring amazing people mixed with friendly, fun neighborhood environments. And ta-da! No, it's not magic. It's about being human. Sometimes being human hurts, but life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Ben Mulrooney Show on 880 CHED.
Ben O'Hara filling in for Ben Mulrooney on the next show. The GST holiday wraps up this weekend. So just how much revenue did it drive for businesses? We'll have the lukewarm results and a breakdown of why it didn't have the kind of impact that was intended. Plus, a group of important people think it might be time to explore a universal basic income. Would it actually work?
The Ben Mulrooney Show, Monday to Friday, noon to 2 on 880 CHED. Edmonton's News. Today's Talk.
Weather got you behind, tractor broken down, short or long-term, Agritrack equipment will get the job done. Agritrack's premium rental fleet of tracked, four-wheel drive, and front-wheel assist units are meticulously maintained and rigged right for Western Canada farm work. Tractors, discs, specialty tillage, seeders, and more from trusted names you know. Rent to own and financing options available. Call Alex anytime, 780-203-6677.
AGRI-TRAC. Agritrack.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom! Wha-bam! Pow! Zap! Turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
CHED Edmonton. You can hear us on the iHeartRadio app. This is 880 CHED,
a Chorus Entertainment radio station.
This is Global News at 6 o'clock. I'm Thomas Dias. It's minus 14. The Alberta NDP says the legislature should be reconvened to examine claims raised in articles in the Globe and Mail about Alberta Health Services being pressured to approve private contracts. Well, Alberta NDP Deputy Leader Raki Pancholi says Danielle Smith needs to, quote, show up and do her job.
She does have an obligation to answer to Albertans. That is the role of the Premier. That is the role of the question period. That is the role of the legislature. If she chooses to take that time and to not answer the questions and to dodge them, Albertans should see that.
Premier Smith has been in Washington with other Canadian premiers meeting with White House senior advisors as they try to battle tariffs being imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump. More news in a moment, but first, checking traffic from Global One, here's Jackson McNulty.
Well, starting off with a bit of good news around the two big collisions we have been seeing tonight. The Yellowhead westbound at the Clover Bar Bridge, as well Wayne Gretzky Drive at 118th Avenue. Those issues have wrapped up and cleared. Delays here have completely moved through. Still a few other things slowing us down tonight as we're getting reports of a collision on the Yellowhead eastbound at 142nd Street, and watching for collisions on 127th Avenue westbound at 113 A Street, as well 118th Avenue westbound before 170th Street. Get yourself 2 new pairs of glasses for $99 at Specsavers Savings Event. That's 2 pairs plus single vision lenses too. Limited time only. Conditions apply. See specsavers.ca. From the Global One Traffic Center, I'm Jackson McNulty.
Thank you, Jackson. Well, Edmonton police are investigating the suspicious death at a home in the Strathern neighborhood. Police got a call yesterday morning about a possible deceased female at a home near 91st Street and 95th Avenue. Prior to officers arriving, police say a 30-year-old man had fled the residence, but he was arrested a short time later. A 30-year-old woman was found dead inside the home. Police say the two were known to each other. The male suspect has not been charged at this point, with the homicide section taking over the investigation. An autopsy had been scheduled for today. Well, more than 30 Alberta schools have notified the Provincial Privacy Commissioner's Office about data breaches connected to a cloud-based platform used by students, teachers, and schools around the world. The Power School platform reported the late December cybersecurity incident to school districts, including the Edmonton Catholic School Division, last month. In most cases, data of students was accessed, but in some reports, professional information of teachers was also involved. In at least one instance, personal information of students included names, phone numbers, birth dates, genders, grades, email addresses, student ID numbers, and health information. The health information included personal health numbers and contact information for doctors and guardians. Commissioner Diane McLeod says her review is at the beginning stage, but it's clear a significant number of Albertans are affected. Power School is offering credit monitoring and identity theft protection to those affected. Well, trailers that will temporarily house displaced locals in Jasper are rolling into town this week. The arrival of interim housing marks a major step in the town's recovery after being ravaged by a runaway wildfire late last July. Well, Michael Fark, director of Jasper's recovery, says about 150 families will likely be housed by the end of the month.
This is a significant milestone to have interim housing units arrive in Jasper. And it's been a process that's been complicated and full of compromises. And there was no perfect or elegant solution that was going to meet everybody's needs and in a perfect timeline.
About 600 families have applied for interim housing in Jasper. I'm Thomas Dias, ahead of our live coverage of the 4Nations Face-Off. Your next scheduled newscast is coming up during the first intermission on 880 CHED.
This report brought to you by Aaron Buys Gold. Turn your unwanted jewelry into cash today. Head to Aaron Buys Gold in Sherwood Park or downtown and online at aaronbuysgold.com.
The radio home of your Edmonton Oilers is proud to bring you the 4Nations Face-Off. Now, Team Canada versus Sweden.
Summit Series, and I will. Team Canada has won 10 of 14 best-on-best tournaments, 3 in a row, and 4 of 5. What are your realistic expectations?
I think Canada's going to win, but I think it's not going to be as simple as everybody thinks. Yes, they have McDavid. Yes, they have McKinnon. Yes, Crosby, and they have Cale Makar. But I think the strength is not between the pipes. And I would not be surprised, Collier, and it's my prediction, and I hope it doesn't ring true, that we're going to see all three goaltenders throughout this tournament. So I could see them scratching and clawing and finally getting the win. I'm going to call maybe overtime and a lot of comeback wins for Canada to eventually win the gold medal.
John Cooper, widely considered the best coach in the NHL, two-time Stanley Cup champion. He's won at every level. He finally gets the chance to coach Team Canada, best on best. Here he is earlier today discussing strategy and skill.
Well, in the end, as a coach, so much preparation has got into this, and it's just, I can't believe it's here now, because it seems like it's taken forever to get to this international event. But I think your job as a coach is not to get in the way. Put the players in the best position to succeed, give them the information that's needed, but don't get in their way and don't cloud the mind of the best players in the world. And that's it. And then, when decisions have to be made, be assertive and do it. And but you really ultimately got to let the guys play. And as for walking in the locker room, it's kind of been the best part of everything is just sitting around and whatever 3 or 4 guys are sitting in there and kind of hot stoving it with them, and you leave and then there's another group, and it's been a ton of fun. But they all are really focused and have a common goal, and that's to win tonight. And like I said, for me, not to get in the way.
It's not the same, but it's pretty darn close. You 20 years ago, walking into that dressing room with the team that basically represented Canada in 2010, you can relate to what John Cooper is going through.
Definitely, and I think for him, it's just managing, not overcoaching some of the best players in the world and letting them go out there and do their thing. But for me, as I see these players come out right now, it just brings back the memories of me coming out, in North Dakota in 2005. So just the energy in the building, I'm seeing the lights. It's making me a hockey fan again, and sometimes when you retire, you get a little bit bitter near the end. But a tournament like this reinvigorates everybody, not just the fans, the players. It's going to be a fantastic tournament, and I'm really excited to see Connor McDavid at his first major international tournament. So I'm excited, Colts. I'm not sure about you. It's definitely going to be a big moment and a big tournament.
This is the 13th time best on best Team Canada's taken on Sweden. Mentioned Sam Hallam, head coach of the Swedes. Here he is about today for Swedish hockey and tomorrow.
I mean, we're here now. This is the 4 Nations. All focus here, of course, in the aftermath and the analysis of it. Things are going to, be noted. But here and now we're here. Hopefully the guys have a really good tournament and we can have pretty much a similar team next year.
Coach, last month you and I just happened to be sitting together to watch Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby put 3 points up each in half a game. You said at the time they're going to be a handful. What do you do to slow down Connor McDavid?
Well, I would say outside those two, I think there's some really good players. I think every player in every team here deserves to be here and are really good. And fortunate, we have a couple of really good ones on our side. So there's going to be some plans, of course, in the preparation, but mostly our players are used to playing against those guys. They are top tier players, but we have to trust our players. We have to trust our goalie to make some good plays, and hopefully we can do the same thing to them on the other side.
X Factor, Stewie. I think Elias Pettersson could be one for Vancouver. It's good to get out of Vancouver, play for his national team, and maybe an Anthony Cirelli on the other side for John Cooper.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect call on Pettersson. He has an opportunity to rewrite the narrative of what's going on with the season, which is considered a bit of a disaster right now with regards to what was going on before the JT Miller trade and him not necessarily playing at the highest level. So if he comes in, has a great tournament, I think that erases the sins of the past and really sets him up to help make a final playoff push for this Vancouver Canucks team. Same thing with Cirelli. He's a guy that plays both ends of the puck. Him slotted on that fourth line, I think he can hide from some top-end matchups and really add an offensive punch to this Canada team. So great call on both those players, too. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for them.
Can you believe Sweden has only beaten Canada 84 round robin in Calgary Canada Cup and Salt Lake City Torpedo? I don't think we're going to see the Torpedo here like we saw Alpha Alfredson Company in 02.
I got to check the game notes on that. And again, last time I checked, Sweden was probably one of the top international teams. But again, I don't think they're a big underdog in this tournament. I would not be surprised with the talent and the team first system that they have. I would not be surprised to see them in the final schools.
And the first time they played best on best was at Maple Leaf Gardens, the Boreas Solomon game. 4-0 Team Canada. Solomon got the great standing ovation. We know wherever he is in the great blue sky, Trey Kroner sky, Boria is watching tonight. Listen to the crowd. The next voice you'll hear is PA announcer Michelle Lacroix.
Mesdames, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, bienvenue à Montréal, Québec, Canada, pour la présentation de la confrontation des 4 nations. Welcome to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, for the presentation of the 4 Nations Face-Off. Voici la formation de départ pour la Suède. Tonight's starting lineup for Sweden. L'entraîneur-chef, head coach, Sam Hallam. Le numéro 77, number 77, Victor Edmond. Le numéro 93, number 93, Mika Zibanejad. Le numéro 67, number 67, Rika Raquel. Le numéro 88, number 88, William Nylander. Le numéro 25, number 25, Jonas Volodin. Dans les buts pour la Suède. In goal for Sweden, le numéro 32, number 32, Philippe Gustafsson. Voici la formation de départ pour le Canada. Tonight's starting lineup for Canada. L'entraîneur-chef, head coach, John Cooper. Le numéro 87, number 87, Sidney Crosby. Le numéro 61, number 61, Mark Stone. Le numéro 29, number 21, Nathan McKinnon. Le numéro 8, number 8, Cale McCarr. Le numéro 5, number 5, Devon Taves. Dans les buts pour le Canada, in goal for Canada, le numéro 50, number 50, Jordan Bennington. Amorcer la célébration de cet événement, accueillons tout d'abord des légendes du hockey qui sont avec nous ce soir. Before we face off, we have legends of the game joining us tonight. Il a participé à 14 tournois internationaux pour la Finlande, amassant 102 points en 94 rencontres. He played in 14 international tournaments for Finland, amassing 102 points in 94 games played. Accueillons, please welcome, l'attaquant forward, Teemu Selänne. Le capitaine de la Finlande, captain for Finland, Alexander Barkov. Il a participé à 3 Jeux olympiques, champion de la Coupe du Monde en 1996 et joueur par excellence du tournoi. A 3-time USA Olympian and 1996 World Cup champion and tournament MVP. Le gardien de but, goaltender, Mike Richter. Le capitaine des États-Unis, captain for the United States, Austin Matthews. Il a représenté la Suède lors de 5 Jeux olympiques, remportant la médaille d'or en 2006. Entraîneur adjoint de l'équipe. He played in 5 Olympics for Sweden, capturing gold in 2006. Currently Sweden's assistant coach, l'attaquant forward, Daniel Alfredsson. Le capitaine de la Suède, captain for Sweden, Victor Hedman. Lors de la Coupe Canada en 1987, il a inscrit un record en réalisant 11 buts en 9 rencontres. In the 1987 Canada Cup, he broke a tournament record with 11 goals in 9 games. Il fut le capitaine de l'équipe canadienne qui a remporté la médaille d'or pour la première fois en 50 ans aux Jeux olympiques de 2002. In 2002, he captained Team Canada to their first Olympic gold in 50 years. Bon retour à la maison. Welcome back to Montreal, Mario Lemieux. Le capitaine du Canada, Canada's captain Sidney Crosby. Pour célébrer la tenue de la confrontation des 4 nations et dans l'esprit de cette compétition internationale, les capitaines procéderont maintenant à un échange de bannières commémoratives. In celebration of the 4Nations face-off and in the spirit of international competition, the team captains will now exchange commemorative banners. Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez vous lever, retirer chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation de l'hymne national de la Suède. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats and caps for the singing of the national anthem of Sweden. Malgré les récents événements, nous vous demandons dans l'esprit de ce grand sport qui nous unit de respecter les hymnes de chaque pays, ainsi que les joueurs qui représentent leur pays. We also ask, in the spirit of this great game that unites everyone, that you kindly respect the national anthems and the players representing each country. Voici la chorale suédoise de Montréal for the singing of the national anthem of Sweden, the Swedish Choir of Montreal.
Din sol, din himmel.
Nous remercions la chorale suédoise de Montréal. Thank you to the Swedish Choir of Montreal. Veuillez vous joindre à Jordan Miller du groupe The Beaches pour l'interprétation du Haut Canada. Join us for the singing of O Canada, performed this evening by Jordan Miller from The Beaches.
O Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton vol essaie de fleurs glorieuses, quand ton bras s'éporte le pays, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée de plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Nobody does it better than Montreal, and that's fitting because it's best on best hockey for the first time since 2016 in Toronto at the World Cup. Canada and Sweden for the 13th time. Canada 10-2, best on best against the Swedes. Loudest ovation, Mario. Loudest boo, Austin Matthews, Stewie.
They were saying boo earns for Austin Matthews, but just shows the type of respect that this Montreal crowd shows giving to Mario Lemieux. If you can't get excited for this game, you're in the wrong sport here, Cools.
Gordy Dwyer, Chris Rooney are the referees. Scott Cherry and Ryan Daisy, the linesmen. Philip Gustafson in the area to our right. Sweden is the home team. Sitting in the Montreal Canadiens bench. At the other side, Jordan Binnington. Will we see Binnington early stages St. Louis Blues?
I think he's going to be calm, cool, collected. I think he understands the moment. I think he looks like he's ready to go. I'm excited to see his first 5-7 minutes. Here we go.
Nate McKinnon against Mika Zibanejad. McKinnon, Crosby, Stone. Makar, Taves against Zibanejad. Raquel, Nylander, Brodin, and Hedman. And we get a quick hang on, says referee Gordy Dwyer. Didn't drop it fairly. Actually, that's Chris Rooney. Got to put that second back on the clock, Stewie. The 2025 Four Nations face-off is officially underway. Pull up a chair and enjoy exciting action here on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. And after the false start, 5 seconds in, early face-off.
Devin Tays stepping up. A little pinch there early and often.
Face-off right in front of the Team Canada bench. Controlled by McKinnon. Crosby took that draw, so he's a left winger, but we'll see both Crosby and McKinnon each take face-offs as the puck goes down the ice behind Gustafson. To the near side, Raquel chips it back to Zibanejad, who's played very well since JT Miller's joined the Rangers in 5 games. He has 8 points. That's what they're going to need from 93 for Trey Kroner.
How many 5-on-5?
No icing on the play, but an early arm is up here as there appears to be a Swedish penalty in the first 40 seconds behind the play. Loose puck comes to center. Crosby brings it in offside. Stewie, I didn't see behind the play, but there's a high sticking penalty coming up to Sweden.
Well, one of the keys to success for Sweden is discipline, right? And taking a penalty first 45 seconds into the game is not something that I recommend here. A little high stick there.
Nylander is in the box.
It looks looks like he slipped a little bit there too, but you have to be in control of your stick full time there too, as he sits for 2 or less. As Canada goes now to the power play here with some lethal weapons here, so we'll see how Sweden responds to this power play.
Face off to the right of Gustafsson. Nylander did get his stick in McKinnon's face, and we talked about on the power play earlier about controlling your stick at this event. 40 seconds in, Team Canada goes to work. Crosby near side to McDavid. McDavid and Crosby play catch in the corner. Out in front of the net, they score! Nate McKinnon, just like that. Canada draws first blood. It's 1-0.
Amazing start by Team Canada getting on the board. Great passing play, and this is probably going to be a precursor for the whole entire tournament here, as this is a lethal power play. Starts with Makar coming up downhill to Connor McDavid. And just look at that there. Nice little backhand pass by Sidney Crosby. That is definitely a set play, and there's some fans in the National Hockey League talking about, we need to see this.
Canada. Well, we might have had a false start off the opening face-off and a whistle 5 seconds in, but the Nylander penalty is costly. Everyone in hockey's talked about this power play, and it didn't take long. McDavid pokes it to center and almost had a breakaway right off the draw. Tried to split the Swedish defense. Parayko near side behind the net to Reinhart. Marner's in front of the net. Morrissey with a shot. Tipped wide. Marner behind the net to McDavid. One chance, another chance. The Swedes are on their heels early.
Great job by Canada, really forcing the play here. Pucks on net early, activating. Nice pinch there.
Parayko to Reinhart. There's a shot stopped by Gustafsson. 90 seconds in, the puck has been in the area to our right. Power play goal, and McDavid almost gets a breakaway off the draw.
I'm sure that's one of the keys to success for Canada early and often. Great job by McDavid, pushing it forward, getting on his horse right away. It's all Canada early as they have the game's first 2 shots.
Official scorer, Nate McKinnon, first of the tournament from Crosby and McDavid. That Crosby blind backhand feed from the near corner was an absolute thing of beauty. Nyquist poked the puck out to center. Now comes to Victor Arvidsson. The Edmonton Oiler winger loses it, and back comes Hagel the other way. Hagel to his Tampa teammate Cirelli out in front. This is the 4th line with Travis Konechny on it as Sweden comes back the other way. Elias Lindholm chips it in and gives chase. There's Drew Doughty wearing 89 as a late addition to Team Canada. He's only played 6 games for the Kings this year.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys that you'd have to drag him off in a stretcher for him not to play, seeing how he's very excited. John Cooper said he's one of those guys that just excited. First day of school for him as he was named to this team.
Brodin, far side, left-handed shot playing the right point. Lindholm can't keep it in, and it's poked out to center. Cirelli tries to chip it in deep. He can't. Hagel does, and Canada changes on the fly. We played 2.5 minutes, period number 1. Canada with an early power play goal leads 1-0 here on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio from coast to coast in Canada, the United States, and Newfoundland, and all over the world. Hope you're enjoying this game wherever you are. As Best on Best Hockey is back. Taves keeps it in at the left point, fires it around to the near side. No red sweater there. And here's Philip Forsberg at center, 1-on-3. Elias Pettersson tries to clean up the mess. It doesn't work, and it's shot down the ice. Kept in on the far side by Brad Marchand. Bruins captain, sharp angle shot, stopped by Gustafsson. Here's Elias Pettersson. No goals, 2 assists since the trade. It's worked for Zibanejad. It's not worked for number 40 in Vancouver.
This is an opportunity for him with this tournament to really change that narrative. And he's too good of a player, I feel, Cools, to be really held off the scoreboard that much longer. We'll see how he does under Tocchet right now.
Point gets it in. The number 1 line with Stone and Crosby and McKinnon, although I guess in theory this is the second line, right, Stewie? If we're slicing onions on this one, I guess McDavid has to be number 1. McKinnon number 2. The power play did strike. It's Colton Parayko with it now. People in St. Louis say this is his best all-around season. He does have 12 goals on the year, and he, like 13 other Team Canada players, are Stanley Cup champions. It would be 15 with Parayko and Pietrangelo, but of course Pietrangelo elected not to come, nursing an injury for Vegas. As we approach the 4-minute mark here in period number 1, Early costly penalty by William Nylander. He didn't look happy in the box. Obviously, we talked about sticks and discipline.
Yeah, that's probably one of the keys to success for Sweden as
Connor McDavid comes in, attacks the triangle and fires it wide to the far side. McDavid again, dancing through the legs, backhand in front, and he just missed Sam Reinhart. At the point, controlled by Theodore to Marner in front, and that play just failed to click as 97 is dancing early.
He's got a little hop in his step today, and you see, notice Canada now, 2 or 3 little area passes, so I'm sure they must have caught something on the video as the crowd is going a little bit wild right now as Canada's all over Sweden.
Icing on the play as that errant pass was looking for Victor Arvidsson from Victor Hedman. It didn't work, and the Swedes now are on their heels as McDavid attacks the triangle on Hedman and does not miss by much.
And McDavid's one of those guys, his feeds are always churning here. Same thing as McKinnon, puts it between his legs, just a little bit of an area pass, missed its target. That's not going to be missing too much more.
Shot by Taves from the point, hits a man in front and dribbles wide. Arvidsson chips it out. Lindholm giving chase. Hagel chips it back in again, and here's Anthony Cirelli. Oshawa General walk-on Memorial Cup hero, Stanley Cup champion at the point for Taves with a shot. Blocked in front. Taves near side to Makar. Floats one from the right point. Hit Hedman in front. He fans on a clearing attempt. Cirelli is there first. Fires it around to the near side. Along the near boards. Puck comes to Travis Konechny, who elects to take it out to center as this Swedish line has been out for a long time here after that icing.
Yeah, Canada just seems to have numbers everywhere. They're swarming the puck. They got a little bit more hop in their step, and Sweden looks a little bit discombobulated through the first 6 minutes of this period.
Well, we're 30 seconds away from our first TV radio timeout. I think they need the break as Gustav Forsling with it now. We talked in the pregame show since he's come to Florida. One of 2 cup champions on this Swedish national team with Hedman is plus 163, my friend.
I think that's good. We're not talking about golf here. It's the opposite there. And Forsling's been one of those guys that just seem to find his game with that Florida Panthers team. He's a big part of that blue line. One of the most underrated players in the league. I'm interested to see how his tournament goes.
Ekholm dumps it in. Edmonton Oiler stand out with Evan Bouchard. Comes to Forsberg with a shot. Parayko blocks it in front. Ekholm pinching in. Nice backup by Adrian Kempe, who's had a great season again for the LA Kings. Team Canada chips it to center, ends up on the stick of Kempe. He can't do anything with it. And here comes Brad Marchand. The little ball of hate, or I guess now in Canada, great, depending on your perspective.
He's a fan favorite tonight, I'll tell you that.
Here's Drew Doughty, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, 2 Olympic gold medals. He was on the ice when Crosby scored on that February afternoon in Vancouver. Mark Stone giving chase near side. Erik Karlsson, one of 6 defensemen in NHL history to post a 100-point campaign. Did that with San Jose 2 years ago. Karlsson to Hedman. Far side for Nylander. First I've called his name since he took that penalty, Stewie.
He's one of those guys. He can be quiet, but he can pop out of a pocket and put up a couple goals here.
On pace for 49. Here's Marner. A cross for Nate McKinnon went through his legs. As that didn't work, in after it is Sam Reinhart. 57 goals last year, picked off by McDavid, who's absolutely flying. McDavid to Makar, and that's a great defensive play. Looks like it was Jesper Bratt.
Yeah, that play developed there with a good body check by Mitch Marner, separating the man from the puck, forcing that turnover.
Bratt gets knocked down by Makar, who gets it out to center. We're approaching the 8-minute mark here, period number 1. Steve Cooley's Anthony Stewart, Scott Laughlin, and the rest of our Sirius XM crew. McDavid steals the puck, almost gets through Elias Pettersson, who made a great defensive play as McDavid. I haven't seen this kind of jump in 97 since the 100-assist season.
Yeah, it's something about that hometown crowd there that really invigorates you and adds an extra hop in your step as we get our first whistle in about, 6 minutes?
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Wow, what a start. Team Canada 1, Sweden no score. This game is coming to you live from the Bell Center in Montreal. 4 Nations face-off on Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Hey, Mom, it's as cold as a rink in here. I'm going to try to get some more practice in.
I really need to replace those windows.
When your home starts feeling like you're back at the arena, it's time to replace your windows. Window Mart is your trusted partner when you need to replace your old, drafty windows and doors. Their Energy Star rated windows and doors will keep your home feeling cozy all year long. Book your free in-home consultation today. Head to windowmart.ca.
The Gentleman Pros. When your plumbing or your heating needs a pro, or your electrical needs someone in the know, give the Gentleman a call, cause you know we fix it all. We'll be sure to make it right before we go. You'll love a quick response and helpful style. It's easy, all you have to do is dial. Friendly people you can trust, leave the dirty work to us. The Gentleman Pros make you smile. The Gentleman Pros make you smile.
880 Ched, the radio home of your Edmonton Oilers, is proud to bring you the 4Nations Face-Off. Now, Team Canada versus Sweden.
Watch the band through a bunch of dancers. Quickly follow the unknown with something.
Welcome back live at the Bell Center in Montreal. Team Canada versus Sweden. Best on Best Hockey is back. I'm Steve Goulias along with Anthony Stewart, Scott Laughlin, and the rest of our Sirius XM crew. Just like that, first minute, Team Canada power play goal. He's off the sheet early.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's just how they drew it up where there with a no-look backhand pass there to McKinnon for that one-timer to make it 1-0.
Nylander taking that early penalty 40 seconds in. He has it now on pace for 49 goals. Had 40 goals last year. Zibanejad had steals to Nylander, but it just rolled off his stick. So far, a tough start for number 88 of the Maple Leafs. Brodin tries to shovel it into the far corner. Mitch Marner picks it off. And here he comes to center. 3 90-point seasons on pace for 100. He'd have 3 or 4 if not for injuries and COVID so far, Stewie. As Zibanejad brings it to center. Chips it in. Nylander gives chase. Cale Makar. Near side for McKinnon. Chops it to Reinhart. Over to Marner. Near side here for Devon Taves. Attacks the triangle. And then falls. Good non-call as the net is knocked off. The Swedes get to finish their rush. They lose possession. And we get a stoppage.
Fans looked like they wanted a penalty there on Gustav Forsling as Taves puts it through the triangle, crashes in. I don't think that's a penalty there, too, but great job by Canada. They're on their toes. They're forcing this Sweden team to sort of, gap back. They're really, really pushing the pace as Sweden doesn't seem to have a counterpunch as they have 0 shots for the first 9 minutes, Schools.
0 shots in most of the plays in the area to our right. Swedes are officially the home team. Philip Gustafsson is the starting netminder. Of course, drafted by Pittsburgh, went to Ottawa, and has really made a name for himself in Minnesota. Maybe last year was a bit of a dip, but year 1 and year 3 in Minnesota, he's been a bona fide number 1.
Yes, and this Minnesota Wild team is in the race just based on the play of Gustafsson. He's playing some great hockey as of late. 2.63 goals against average, 3 shutouts to boot as well, too. And if they want to have some success in making the playoffs, he's going to continue to be a big part of that.
Theodore along the near side for his Vegas teammate Mark Stone. Long lead feed by Doughty. Gets up to Brandon Hagel, who's tied up there with Erik Karlsson. Near side for Forsberg. Rink wide for Carlson. Chips it by Cirelli. And here come the Swedes on a 3-on-2. Make it 4 as Forsberg joins the rush. After a slow start in Nashville this year, he's filling the net, but the season started poorly, and they're not making the playoffs, Stewie, with all those veterans and off-season signings.
Are they already out of the race? I know it's a tough hill to climb, right? But again, it's an off year for them as they look to be sellers at the deadline. But this is too talented of a team with the moves they made, especially in the offseason, for them to have the patience for this to continue much longer.
We've played 10 minutes and 11 seconds here in period number 1. As the puck comes to Seth Jarvis, who is white hot for the Carolina Hurricanes now. Over to Braden Point. 51 goals 2 years ago. We wondered if Point would be the bumper on the power play. I guess not to start. We'll see what he does on power play 2. As the first big check of the game is delivered by Josh Morrissey as he hits Joel Eriksson-Ek. Here comes Brad Marchand, in over the line, right wing circle between his legs, gets bumped by Brodin. Hedman cleans up the mess and gets it to the near side for Lucas Raymond. 4th year in the league, the first 2 not bad, the last 2, this kid can play.
I'm a big fan of Raymond as he looks to get another 30-goal season. He's one of those top players in Detroit, budding superstar as well.
The old high flip play, Stewie. I don't know if the U11s can do it in the NHL. It's not only a good defensive play, it's a good offensive play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. I had Mike Kitchen as a defense coach in the Florida Panthers, and he said, as a defenseman, when they flick it, you got to let it go because you don't know if it might bounce off a finger, it might hit you in the head, and it's a play that's really, really tough to defend. But good job on Canada, really stretching out the zone. And this Sweden team, they just look like they don't have an answer for Canada as they look to push the pace with the game's first 4 shots for 11 minutes.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And there's what an early penalty can do, and one that you can stop. Right, Stewie?
Yeah, momentum. They've had it for the first 9 minutes, and Sweden needs to figure something out because they have the talent right now to take over this game.
Sam Reinhart, Stanley Cup champion, scored the Stanley Cup winning goal in Game 7 against Edmonton last year. As the puck comes to Taves, far side for Mitch Marner. Back to Taves at center. Makar over the red line and fires it in. Marner goes in after it, bumps his man off the puck, so it rolls to McDavid. McDavid to Makar with a shot right on to Philip Gustafsson. And McDavid's had, 4 or 5 shifts so far? I can't keep my eyes off him. 97 is an early story as we get our second break of the period. Team Canada 1, Swedes no score. As Stewie alluded to, the Swedes still looking for their first shot on goal. You're listening to the 4Nations Face-Off on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Stress, fatigue, slow recovery? It's time to feel the difference at Hyperbaric Health and Spa. Their groundbreaking hyperbaric oxygen hydrogen therapy is designed to enhance your body's natural healing abilities, giving you the energy and focus you need to thrive. Don't let another day pass without prioritizing your health. Visit hyperbarichealthspa.com and use promo code HHSWELCOME to get 10% off your first session. Discover wellness that works for you.
Keep your job moving forward with Diamond Truck Centers. They're your source for top quality international medium and heavy duty trucks. Whether you need trucks, parts, service, rentals, or leasing services, they've got you covered. Plus, Diamond Truck Centers is where you'll find the new S13 integrated powertrain. One of the most fuel efficient engines on the road, which means more money in your pocket and less at the pump. For more, head to DIT.ca. Diamond Truck Centers. Experience the Diamond difference.
If there's anything we Canadians are proud of, is we support each other. And Sentinel Storage knows this because we're truly Canadian. And your support has made us Canada's leader in storage solutions. Proudly serving our communities for more than 40 years. Thank you. And if you haven't tried us yet and need extra space, try 4 weeks free now. So drop that hockey stick, finish that poutine, throw on that toque, and celebrate the True North Strong in 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca. Shop Canadian, store Canadian.
Inside Sports is brought to you by James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. Go to jameshbrown.com.
880 CHED, the radio home of your Edmonton Oilers, is proud to bring you the 4 Nations Face-Off. Now, Team Canada versus Sweden.
live to the Bell Center in Montreal. Team Canada on a goal by Nate McKinnon from Crosby and McDavid. With Nylander in the box, lead the Swedes 1-0. Best on best hockey is back. Swedes, as Stewie alluded to, going into the break, have 0 shots on goal. Jesper Bratt of the Devils will try to change that. Gets it back to Rasmus Dahlin, who fans on a shot with Crosby on his doorstep. Oh, side of the net for Joel Eriksson Ek. Even though they missed, that was the Swedes' best chance of the game.
Yes, and first big movement for Jordan Binnington, who's trying to manufacture a little bit of energy here as he still hasn't seen a shot through the first 12 minutes of this game.
Puck behind the net for the aforementioned Gustav Forsling. He and Hedman, Stanley Cup champions, as a member of the Swedish team. Long lead feed for Arvidsson, too far. I guess he touched it. Icing was waved off as Team Canada comes back with McDavid the other way. He had a chance to split the D, passed off to Reinhardt, gets it back again, curling in the right wing circle. Back to the point for Theodore, in front for Marner, and it just went off his stick. Back behind the net, far side for McDavid. Chips it behind the net for Reinhardt. One touch for Marner doesn't work as Arvidsson picks it off and gets it out and down the ice. Here's Theodore. D to his partner, Drew Doughty. 6 games with the Kings this year. Averaged over 25 minutes of ice time. He said, Stewie, the whole time he wanted to play. Well, I guess Team Canada brass was listening with his resume as a puck dribbles towards the net. Cirelli is there, but Gustafsson hangs on.
Yeah, just elaborating on Drew Doughty. Coach Cooper was talking about when he delivered the news to him that he was going to make this team. He said he was just so excited, but as if he won the lottery. So he's one of those guys that, he doesn't need much practice time. He's one of those guys that's a gamer, and whether he's out a week or 2 months, he's going to perform at a high level, and he's in the first period.
Still getting used to 89 as Marchand dumps it towards the net. Jarvis gets bumped off the puck by Victor Hedman. What a story Victor Hedman has been. Yeah, on the back 9 of a Hall of Fame career, number 2 overall. As the puck comes to Jarvis on a 2-on-1. Jarvis in front, they score! Brad Marchand from Seth Jarvis. And just like that, Team Canada leads. It's 2-0.
Great job by Seth Jarvis feeding it over to Brad Marchand. And this is going to be one of the strengths of Team Canada here, as you can hide high-end players like Marchand on the third line, and it's going to be tough for other teams to really have a counterpunch. Seth Jarvis, one of the best up-and-coming young players in the league for the Carolina Hurricanes, slides it over to Brad Marchand, who makes no mistake as he makes it 2-0 with 6:45 to go in this first period for Canada.
The late, great Pat Burns, of course, who started here, lost the 89 final to Calgary in the last All-Canadian Stanley Cup final. He says sometimes he doesn't like it when it's too easy. Has it been too easy for Team Canada to start?
Well, I'd rather too easy than too hard, but style that we're talking about twos. The worst goal lead in hockey is the 2-goal lead there, Cools.
They don't cheer 63 in this building too often, but they do right there. And there's an ill-timed pinch that sprung Seth Jarvis, and we are in a fake shot pass league. That is perfect execution, my friend.
Yeah, and it's funny because Gustafsson's a big goalie. It just seems on both goals. He just seems caught sort of out of the crease, caught out of position. But with this Canada team, they're big, they're strong, they can skate, and they can make plays.
Who on the Trey Kroner do you expect to pick things up here? Is it Hedman? Is it Nylander? Is it Zibanejad just lost the puck to McKinnon? He had a chance to spring Crosby. Comes to Mark Stone with a shot blocked by Dahlin. We talked about the first TV timeout getting the Swedes going. Maybe it's going to be the intermission for Sam Hallam and company.
Yeah, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board as they just got their first shot on the net there with William Nylander, but he's one of those players that can step up and elevate. He's going to be depended on, too, for the Sweden team.
Yeah, it was a weak backhander that in the day and age we live in, they review every shot. I don't know if you've noticed, betting is involved in hockey, Stewie, so
what is that?
That may have been on the net. It may have been going wide. Binnington's like, well, give it to me. I want to feel the puck. As Crosby gets knocked over as he and Dahlin exchange pleasantries. Let them play, the officials, Gord Dwyer and Chris Rooney do, as the Swedes come in over the line offside. Dahlin and Crosby will examine that relationship or lack thereof when we come back. This is Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio.
CHED Edmonton. Trustworthy, dependable global news mixed with informed, authentic talk radio. 880 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
Hey folks, Louis DeBrusque here. Are you tired of dry, itchy skin? Hair looking dry and dull? Don't call the game just yet. Billy Mechanical is here with all new water treatment services to give your health a power play. Say goodbye to scale buildup, soap scum, and hard water staining, and hello to well-being. Billy services all makes and models for a winning play. Head to billymechanical.com now for your free water analysis. That's BILLE.
Get fired up for Family Day weekend Oil Kings hockey at Rogers Place.
Saturday night, Edmonton looks to make rubble on the double of the Humdinger Lethbridge Hurricanes because it's Paw Patrol night.
Your Oil Kings suit up in specialty jerseys right out of Adventure Bay. Each one will be raffled off in support of the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation after the game.
And Calmont Kids Food Combos are on the case. Just $10 or less. Value bigger than the Paw Patroller.
Oil Kings Paw Patrol night, Saturday at 7.
Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Buy now and win more with the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery. You could score big with the Oilers and $75,000 bonus prize, including lower bowl season seats. Find freedom with the Cadillac Escalade and Cayman Islands early bird prize. And be in to win the stunning $2.7 million grand prize, a luxury Burkholdt show home and $100,000 cash. Be mighty and support Stollery Kids. Buy now at MightyMillionsLottery.com.
If you've been injured in an accident and have questions, James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, will help you find answers. Trust their championship-winning team to work for you. When accidents happen, go to jameshbrown.com.
880 CHED, the radio home of your Edmonton Oilers, is proud to bring you the 4Nations face-off. Now, Team Canada versus Sweden.
Center in Montreal. Team Canada leads Sweden 2-0 here, period number 1. Catch NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin, Gord Stellick, weekday mornings at 7 Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Under 6 to play. They took that Nylander shot off the board. I told you. I just had a feeling.
Someone has the under here. Someone has the under.
Drew Doughty in the area to our left if you're just joining us. Team Canada, the visitors, so they're sitting on the visitors' bench. Binnington to our left, getting the call against Philip Gustafsson, who cannot be blamed for either goal.
No, a little out of position on both of them there, but not on him, Chris.
Here comes Brad, has a man in front of the net. What a play by Drew Doughty. No, that was Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart is a forward on one knee, maybe saved a goal right there, as in front of the net with a chance was Gustav Nyquist. Here's Ekholm poking the puck in. Comes to Pedersen. Back at the point for Kempe. Near side to Forsling with a shot. That's a shot on goal. The fans give it. Don't do the watch here. That's not good luck around here.
The game's first shot by Forsling. And it's a tough game for Binnington, where we talked about him trying to just find a way to stay involved and get activated. And when you don't have a shot through the game's first 15 and a half minutes, it's really, really tough. But he's one of those guys that's a competitor, finds a way to stay engaged, and he looks dialed in through the first period.
56 seconds in, Nate McKinnon on the power play, 13-15. Jarvis over to Brad Marchand. Brad Marchand was the best player in 2016, and that was his coming out party. From that moment at the World Cup, I think he's had basically a Hall of Fame career. He was a third-line left winger in Boston, and he's turned himself into a special player. He'll be 37 in May. As Carlson with a shot tipped in front of the net, Parayko cleans up the mess. They talk about him in St. Louis this year. Boy, his wingspan is like a right-handed Jay Bouwmeester.
Yeah, I saw him walking around earlier on today. He looks like he's about 6'7" with his shoes on.
Comes to Parayko now. Gains the center red line and dumps it in. Canada changing on the fly. In comes Brandon Hagel. 26 goals. He's 10th in NHL goal scoring. Hagel is 10th. If you have him in your pool, you've won a Ferrari.
And one of those other depth pieces that looks like he could be an X factor for this Team Canada team, slotted on the fourth line. I would not be surprised to see him have a bunch of goal before this tournament is over.
He was originally drafted by the Sabres, never played. I don't think Chicago knew what they had. And Julien Brisebois, who we saw at the morning skate, locked them up. Most of the moves by Brisebois have worked. Maybe one tough guy from Nashville didn't, but for the most part, the Sorellis and the Hagels and the Gensels have worked out well as McCarr sends it to the net. It's picked off, and back comes Arvidsson with Nyquist the other way. Here to Dahlin. Little backhanded toe drag. Lost the puck. Marchand has a chance on a breakaway as the puck is flipped to him by Konechny, but it was hard to execute with 3 Swedish players in the way.
Yeah, and Sweden right now, they just seem like getting a little bit too fancy, turning the puck over. Their game plan going into the second period is they got to have better puck management.
And after the puck is Jesper Bratt, back to Hedman at the left point. Bratt back to Hedman, up top now. He's got time and space. He lets a shot go, and he whistles that one just wide of the short side. Couple good chances for the Swedes here as that puck from the point by Forsling is once again gloved by Binnington. And finally, Trey Kroner is starting to find their game.
Yeah, and that's Sweden needs. That's what they need a little bit more of, just putting the puck on net directly. You saw the shot by Hedman that was a little bit wide before. He hesitated, but Forsling, as soon as he gets the puck on his stick, what does he do? He just puts it there. Down 2-0. You got to find a way to crack this Canada code, and it starts with getting pucks on net. Maybe he hits a stick, maybe he hits a skate, and those squeakers have gone in on Binnington sometimes this year. They got to just continue to pump up the volume here.
So Hedman's now with Forsling. He started the game with Brodin. As I look on the bench and count bodies, everybody's still there as Nylander wins the draw to Hedman. Over to Forsling. He fans on it. Picked off by Parayko, and he chips it to center. Mitch Marner, what a season he's having in Toronto. He actually is tied with McDavid with 71 points. Both top 5 in league scoring. McDavid in after it, has it now to Marner, back to McDavid, right and on goal, and he's hammered by Raquel as it just rolled off his stick. McKinnon has it now, back to Morrissey, the Jets defenseman. The Winnipeg Jets, first overall in the NHL with 81 points. The Capitals are number 2. What a year for Morrissey. One of 5 World Junior Champions in 2015 on this team. The McDavid year in Toronto.
Yeah, Morrissey is I say he's one of the most underrated defensemen in the whole entire National Hockey League. You see him getting involved there early. Hit a big hit there on the Sweden player. He seems like he's ready to go.
Puck comes to Nate McKinnon. Near side for Mark Stone. Without Pietrangelo, still 14 of the 23 players on Team Canada have won the Stanley Cup. Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Cup champion Cal McCarr is it now through center. Tried to get the puck to Crosby. It was broken up. And it comes here to Joel Eriksson-Ek. Picked up by Mattias Ekholm. He fires it in. McCarr loses the battle there to Elias Pettersson, who's been quiet like many of the Swedish forwards here today, Stu.
They just don't seem to have any answer for the forecheck. Neutral zone closing off by Canada. They got to use their speed. This is the team that's big, fast, strong. They got to find a way to get activated as this game looks to get away from them.
Less than a minute to go in the first period. There you hear Michel Lacroix. What an opening ceremony. I just love Mary Lemieux. I was there in 87. You wouldn't know since I'm an 88 Burke, but I was there in 87, Stewie. Unbelievable. $30 behind Grant Fuhr to watch hockey that was, I call it the Jetsons. It was the future. Future's right now. Hagel in over the line. That's a nice play by Rasmus Sandin of the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, they have to find a way just to have little small wins, right? Getting the puck in deep, advancing the puck, a little bit of more volume on the net here. But through, as we finish off on the first period here, nice shot on net there by the Sweden player. Going into the first intermission here, they have to find a way to get on the board, and it starts with just getting a little bit more energy, moving the puck, and finding a way to take the crowd out of this game.
Lucas Raymond, 22 years of age. Last 2 years have been outstanding. 31 goals, 72 points. He went 4th overall in the Alexis Lafreniere draft, which right now has Stützle and Raymond in the mix with the other draftees. And those 2 players have done very well in their respective stops. Lucas Raymond and the Red Wings, in a playoff position as we hit the break. Before we hit the break, Joel Eriksson-Ek has it, tries to feed Jesper Bratt, who spins and fires a shot that goes weak and wide. Hedman over to Carlson, and there is the siren, the world-famous siren at the Bell Center, and we're done one period. Team Canada 2, the Swedes no score. Only one power play in the game. Canada scored on it, and the shots on goal, 7-2, Stewie. It was a one-sided affair.
Yes, and this intermission couldn't come at a better time for this Sweden team, where they're lucky to come out down only 2-0. Canada had about 5 scoring chances, easily could have been 3 or 4-0. A couple missed shots by Team Canada there. So going into the intermission, if I'm the coach here from Sweden, I'm just talking about, guys, we need small wins. We can't hit the home runs. We can't go end-to-end. It's not going to be a big play. You got to start with just putting pucks on net, activating, try to draw a penalty here as you look to get back into this game. But for me, 3 shots through the first 20 minutes, I don't think it's good enough, but chalk it up to nerves, chalk it up to the home ice advantage for Team Canada. But again, Sweden, as considered one of the favorites for this tournament, need a better effort in this final 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I hate using efforts in any of our analysis. I understand energy. I understand execution. I understand 3 games in 4 nights. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. And they're a veteran team, Stewie. You know what I mean? And we're at a point right now, and we're going to get into the format and rules and everything else. One regulation loss really hurts you in this tournament.
It does, with the new point system that they have. And Sam and Lamb talked about their style of play has to be defense first. I didn't see that coming out in waves and 5-man units. They seemed like they were just trying to do some one-and-done type of plays, turning the pucks over in the neutral zone. And they got to go back to the drawing board here.
And we're going to go back downstairs. Joining us now is Seth Jarvis, Carolina Hurricanes and Team Canada. Seth, were you going to pass the whole time? It was a great fake shot pass. I was wondering, and you executed it perfectly. Welcome.
Well, thank you. I wish I could take credit for that. That was pointer. But, high-end players make high-end plays, and that's what those 2 guys did there.
Yeah, Sweden seemed to be a little bit flat, but how much did the crowd play into the energy that you guys had through this first 20 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think it can be overstated how important that was. Coming out for warm-ups was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. So just being able to feed off them, get a couple hits, get the crowd into it early was awesome.
What do you expect in period number 2? That can't be the same Swedish team we see in the next 20 minutes.
No, they're definitely going to come with a push, but we know we got better too. We're just getting comfortable, so just keep getting better every shift, keep building off the momentum that the crowd's giving us, and keep improving.
Seth, thanks for this. Continued success.
Thank you.
Canada leads 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Scott Laughlin is standing by. He's got the first intermission report. Team Canada leads Sweden by a score of 2-0. This is Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Avalon has been keeping basements dry and foundations stable in Western Canada for over 50 years. Protect your investment. If you suspect settlement or shifting issues, notice cracked drywall or unlevel windows and doors, call today. 780-468-4400. That's Avalon with a B. Home of the lifetime warranty.
Looking for a career that makes a real impact? Lakeland College's firefighter training programs get you ready for the front lines. Train hands-on at the Vermilion campus, home to Canada's most advanced emergency training center. From battling structure fires to wildland blazes, vehicle extrication, and hazardous materials response, you'll gain the skills to fire up your future. Choose the 12-week in-person program or the 17-week blended option with 5 weeks of on-site training at Lakeland College. Visit lakelandcollege.ca/fire today to learn more.
What would $1 million mean to you? Adventure, peace of mind, or a dream come true? For the first time ever, the Big Brothers Big Sisters Dream Home Lottery Grand Prize is Winner's Choice. A $1.1 million dream home or $1 million cash. Final deadline to buy tickets is May 7th. Plus, add on win 50 tickets for another chance to win up to $1 million. Get your tickets today at bigbrothersdreamhome.org. Buy a ticket, help a child. License number 700931 and 700930. Prices in CAD. Tickets sold only within Alberta. Please play responsibly.
Is your smile holding you back? Hi, I'm Dr. Elena Kusi from Kusi Dental Group, where we create custom smile makeovers to give you back that confidence you've been missing. From whitening to veneers and dental implants, we've got the expertise to transform your smile. Start your journey to a radiant new smile by visiting kusidental.ca or call 780-468-7270 to book your appointment.
Kusi Dental Group and South Edmonton Prosthodontics, your partners in perfecting smiles.
It's our year-end clearance at Direct Workwear, your trusted source for PPE. Gear up and save on FR clothing, jackets, work boots, and more. Start your year off with more savings on all of these and in-store clearances. Need embroidery or alterations? We do that too. Don't miss out. Visit Direct Workwear on Gateway Boulevard today. Open 7 days a week. Direct Workwear, protecting you from head to toe for less.
Bring it. I wanna see you bring the
Dish it out and dig in.
See you bring the flavor.
Flavor Network. Stream on Stack TV.
You're listening to 4Nations Face Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 Chad. Proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Center here in Montreal after 20 minutes of play in the opening game of the 4Nations face-off. It is Canada 2 and Sweden nothing. And really, when you drop the puck in an environment like this, it's not hard, expectedly so, for the home team to get going. Canada really felt the enthusiasm coming here from the crowd. And in the opening moments of the hockey game, it really felt like the Swedes were on the back foot. And that was, again, to be expected with the home crowd cheering for Team Canada the way that they did. Canada came out early. They came out often. They came out strong. And sure enough, it did not take them long to go to work. And they were the beneficiaries, as it turned out, of an early power play opportunity. So just 44 seconds into the game, and Team Sweden has William Nylander go off to the penalty box for 2 minutes or less. He took a high sticking penalty, and that meant that vaunted Team Canada power play 1 went to work. Here with the call of the opening goal of the 4Nations face-off tournament, Steve Coulias and Anthony Stewart.
Crosby near side to McDavid. McDavid and Crosby play catch in the corner. Out in front of the net, they score! Nate McKinnon, just like that. Canada draws first blood. It's 1-0.
It was 1-0 just that quickly. That was a fast opening goal, amongst the fastest that we've ever seen in NHL best-on-best competition. In fact, the fourth fastest ever for Team Canada. Ironically enough, going back to 1987, Normand Rochefort. Anybody remember Normand Rochefort out there? Former Quebec Nordique defenseman, starred for Canada back in 1987 as that stay-at-home shutdown type presence. He was the guy who held the record for the quickest goal to start a game in NHL best-on-best when he scored 43 seconds into a game at the Canada Cup again way back in 1987. So 56 seconds in, PP1 goes to work for Team Canada. Nate McKinnon gets the goal from Crosby and McDavid. McDavid down to Crosby, cross-ice feed to Nathan McKinnon. He gets the goal, and just like that, Canada had themselves an early 1-0 lead. Just what the Canadian fans in attendance wanted to see, tic-tac-toe, and Canada had the early advantage. Now, a little bit later on in the period, just under 9 minutes in, it looked like Devon Toews was getting in around the Swedish defenseman. Had a bit of an awkward collision with the goalpost. Could have been a scary situation. Thankfully, the Avalanche defenseman was able to get back to his feet. He tapped Philip Gustafsson on the pads and said, "Hey, no worries. I'm okay. Move along. Nothing to see here." But we did see Canada go in front by a pair of goals, and just over 13 minutes in, we're still at even strength, and Canada assumed a 2-0 lead.
As the puck comes to Jarvis on a 2-on-1, Jarvis in front, they score! Brad Marchand from Seth Jarvis, and just like that, Team Canada leads. It's 2-0.
Yeah, just like that, Cooley, it was 2-0 for Canada just over 13 minutes in. 13:15 to be exact was the time of the goal. It's Marchand from Braden Point on a great setup From the centerman from the Tampa Bay Lightning, it was Victor Hedman, ironically enough, the Swedish captain who got caught up ice in the neutral zone. Canada turns it back in transition the other way, and it's point to Marchand. Seth Jarvis also picks up a helper, the intermission guest, of course, of Cooley and of Anthony Stewart on the broadcast. 2-0 for Canada at that point. Well, how dominant was Canada in that opening period? Well, it took till just about the 14-minute mark for Team Sweden to actually register their first shot on goal. It was William Nylander in with a subtle, non-dangerous opportunity coming in off the left side to test Jordan Binnington. But for the most part, Jordan Binnington had a pretty pedestrian-type first period. He was not under pressure. Halfway through the first period, to put things in perspective, shots on goal, just 3-0. And again, the Swedes could mount not much of an attack in the opening period. One thing that really stood to be true in the first 20 minutes of this game, folks, the fact that Canada seemingly always had the puck. You want to talk about puck possession, and you want to talk about having arguably the best puck possession defenseman in the game. I know if Quinn Hughes were here playing for Team USA, American fans would say it's Quinn Hughes. Well, Canada's got Cale Makar. And I think a lot of the time, when you see Makar, number 8, with the puck on his stick, you know Canada's going to control play as much as they did in the opening period. Hard for the Swedes to mount much of an attack, quite frankly, just because they seemingly never had the puck. And so 3 shots on goal for Team Sweden in the opening period, outshot 7-3 in that opening stanza, as it turns out. They're going to have to be much better in the second period. I think the Swedes will look to get in on the forecheck a little bit more often, have to have the puck to certainly get to that point. But they're going to look to mount a bit more of an attack. The fact is, too, that Canada, again, did not find its way into the penalty box at all during the opening period of play. And if Sweden's going to get back into this, you wonder if it might be a power play opportunity that comes their way that maybe settles the crowd down just a little bit, takes the oxygen, so to speak, out of the building. And maybe that's the opportunity that the Swedes can kind of bank on, because we know that they've got a pretty good power play one themselves, with 4 forwards and the lone defenseman being the quarterback, the captain, Victor Hedman. So we'll see if they can mount something in coming back here. It just felt like Canada was on a mission, quite frankly, in the opening period. It was almost like Canada was trying to send a message to the rest of the tournament. We're only 20 minutes in, but that was pretty dominant to start the game. And heck, I mean, the pregame festivities, you saw Mario Lemieux come out right after Austin Matthews, somewhat expectedly, was booed and booed mercilessly by the crowd here in attendance at Montreal. Why is he booed? Well, arch rival Toronto, arch rival United States. And they've got the big matchup, of course, Canada does against the American squad coming up on Saturday night, too, that we're all eagerly anticipating. First and foremost, we've got at least 2 more periods here in the tournament opener. We've got the American squad facing the decimated Finnish squad coming up tomorrow night. We say decimated just because of the injuries that Finland has specifically on defense. And boy, we talk about puck possession, guys. And if you're talking about Makar for Canada, Quinn Hughes for the American squad, I think I'll obviously have to talk about Miro Heiskanen, too, the guy who's not here for Team Finland. He would be their equivalent of what Canada and the U.S. can bring to the table. So 2-0 for Canada after 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal, 7-3. Canada looking to turn the tables. And I thought John Cooper in that opening period as well really had a good feel, not unexpectedly, for the game. And that is when he had the opportunity to get the McKinnon line out there, sometimes in a double shift situation, he did that. When it came to having McDavid, who I thought was the best player on the ice in the opening period, color me shocked at that. But McKinnon and McDavid's lines at times seemed to see some double shifting along the way as well. And that's John Cooper realizing that these guys are going. We've talked ad nauseum coming into the tournament, too, just about the advantage that Team Canada seemingly has on the tournament in terms of their top 6, in terms of what the top 2 lines for Canada can bring to the table. And at this point, there's really no reason for John Cooper to even alter any of the line combinations. He has to be overjoyed at what he saw during the first 20 minutes of play. So it's 2-0 Canada, getting set for period number 2. We will turn it back over to Cooley and to Stewie on the other side. They will have play-by-play of the second period. You're listening to the 4Nations Face-Off Intermission Report right here on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Just days before an Edmonton Miners soccer team was set to head to Vegas, they found out all the money they raised for the trip had vanished. along with their coach. Global's Cabby Molly Theron reports.
The Millwood Selects found out Monday night a trip to compete in Las Vegas was never happening. The U11 soccer team raised more than $60,000 to cover the cost, but the club found out nearly $40,000 vanished and learned nobody signed up for the tournament. Father Adam Scorgi says he didn't question the trip because of how well the team played. He says it's difficult for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be gone in moments.
The team did incredibly well. They finished second in their division this year. They're a very talented team. That's why this whole thing of going to Vegas didn't seem that outlandish.
Edmonton police say they are investigating. Cabby Molly Theron, Global News.
Alberta's opposition NDP says it's time for Premier Danielle Smith and Health Minister Adriana LaGrange to show up, do their jobs, and answer questions in the provincial legislature amid allegations of high-level government corruption surrounding medical contracts. Smith, who's in Washington, D.C. to lobby against U.S. tariffs, says the allegations need to be proven before any action is taken. Agriculture critic Heather Sweet is calling on UCP Minister R.J. Sigurdsson to collaborate with the NDP and protect the agriculture sector from the continued threat of American tariffs. In a letter, Sweet proposes that they form a united voice to engage with federal counterparts and trade representatives while also looking for market diversification. And U.S. President Donald Trump upended 3 years of U.S. policy toward Ukraine today, saying he and Russian leader Vladimir Putin have agreed to begin negotiations on ending the war. 880 Ched weather down to minus 24 overnight with a wind chill of minus 25. A mixed sky tomorrow with a high of minus 20 as the risk of flurries continues. I'm Thomas Dias. News on demand at 880ched.com.
This report is brought to you by GCL Diesel, critical engine component suppliers of pumps, injectors, and turbochargers for the transportation, mining, agricultural, and oil and gas industries. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
From the casinos of Vegas to the bingo halls of Leduc, everybody wants a piece of Lady Luck. And what thanks do I get? It's like I don't even exist.
There's no such thing as luck. If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Jubilations Dinner Theater presents 1969, Dylan Joplin and all those Rolling Stones. On stage now through April 6th. Enjoy a ride through the 60s where music, media, and culture collide. Visit jubilations.ca.
It's the SNL 50th Anniversary Special, Sunday, February 16th on Global. Stream on Stat TV.
You're listening to 4Nations Face Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 Ched, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Welcome back to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio's coverage of 4Nations Face Off, Canada versus Sweden. Now, time for second period action from Bell Centre in Montreal.
Goals in period number one. Nate McKinnon on the power play. Brad Marchand from point and Jarvis makes it 2-0. 7-3 shots on goal. We have to see a different Trey Kroner team in this period, Stewie.
100%. And I go with the 5-5-5 approach. 5 shots, 5 hits within the first 5 minutes is the game plan for Sweden to get back into this game. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a hard way to do it, but they have to find a way to get back in.
This is best on best hockey here from the Bell Centre in Montreal. 4Nations face-off. Team Canada, Sweden, Finland, USA. They play tomorrow. We've got all 7 games, 4 in Montreal, 3 in Boston. The championship game next Thursday. Nate McKinnon with the puck now. Back to Makar. Rink wide for Taves, but it came out just over the line. He shovels it in, and they head to the bench. Brodin near side to Mika Zibanejad. Mentioned in the first period, 5 games with JT Miller. 3-2 the Rangers are. He has 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. As here comes McDavid with Reinhart. McDavid led all forwards. Almost 7 minutes of ice time in the first.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't need any rest there as he's pushing the pace every single shift and leading this Canada line.
Gustav Forsling and Victor Hedman. Makar and Taves were on now. Led ice time for defensemen as McKinnon, or make that McDavid, lets it rip. Gustafsson makes the save. That's Canada's 8th shot on goal.
And McDavid is just all over the ice. And it's funny, when he's turning those legs, the hands are moving as well. You don't know if he's going to pass, drop it, or as he did there, shoot the puck. So Sweden needs to find an answer to McDavid, take his time and space away, because he can do almost a death by 1,000 cuts, and he can take over the game as he has through the first period and first 2 of this second here.
5 Art Ross trophies. Gretzky 10, Howe and Mario 6. Mario's here tonight. He got the big ovation. Only they have more. Yager has 5. I don't know how he won 1 Hart Trophy with 5 Art Ross trophies. And Phil Esposito, who was just passed on the all-time scoring list by Alexander Ovechkin.
I'm assuming that's good, Cools.
Oh, yeah. It's good. I love watching Phil play. Speaking of Summit Series, and I call that a best on best. You got the best NHLers, we're all Canadian in 72, taking on the Russians, and nobody knew how good they were until about middle of the first period in September of 72.
A little bit of entertainment on this program, a little bit of history. You got everything on Sirius XM 91.
Well, we'll get into some of the other shows and channels. Other than Howard, everybody knows about Howard. There's a spinning shot there, went wide of Binnington. As Carlson towards the net. Kevin Fiala, who had a pretty good first period, I thought. Gets a stick on that one, but Binnington steers aside his 4th save of the game. Forsberg up to Pettersson. It went over or under his stick, icing against Sweden.
Yeah, that's the plays that Sweden has to do to get back into this game. It's not going to be the big booming shot, and Carlson's one of the best players in the National Hockey League and getting pucks through. A little bit of a shot on the ice, redirection by Adrian Kempe, and almost caught Binnington off guard as Canada seems to be throwing the body around, connecting with a big hit as well. So a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more energy from Sweden to start this second period.
Braden Point centering Marchand and Jarvis. They were in on the 2-0 goal. Breaking coverage on the failed pinch. Canada wins the draw. Doughty gets it to Marchand in the right wing circle. Doughty with a shot. Team Canada, the visitors, period 2. So they're going into the area from our right to left. As Jarvis leaves it for Doughty, who pinches in on the right point. Comes to the near side. In comes Shea Theodore. He couldn't keep it in as he takes a bump from Kevin Fiala. And now Doughty fires it in. There's 2 body checks there. Fiala and Forsberg. I wonder if physicality was part of the message in the Swedish dressing room.
I've counted probably 4 or 5 hits through 3 minutes as it looks to be a little bit more physical to start this second period.
Doughty into the corner to Marchand. Jarvis comes and cleans up the mess, gets it back to the right point to Makar. He shovels it around the net, comes to the near side for Marchand at the end of a shift. Taves to Makar, in for Stone, who just came off the bench. Tries to find McKinnon, nicely broken up by Carlson. And now Bratt behind his own net, gets it back to Carlson, who starts out near side. Long lead feed to Fiala, tips it to Jesper Bratt, who goes in after it. Comes up with the loose puck, gets it back to the point, but it goes over Brodin, and the lack of execution again for the Swedes in the offensive zone.
Yeah, passing has been off for Sweden this whole entire game. I've seen Victor Hedman miss 2 or 3 passes, passing to the guy's backhand. He just missed another one there. Game plan doesn't seem to be working so far for Sweden.
Canada wearing their red sweaters. Each country only wears 1 sweater. Canada red, Sweden yellow, which makes me think in the NHL, why do we have to have somebody wearing a white sweater? If the Blackhawks are playing the St. Louis Blues, why can't we see Chicago red against St. Louis blue? I ask you that, Mr. Commissioner.
Now we get into a little bit of fashion, right? But for me, I like some of the variety of the whites, right? Some of the stripes, some go a little bit more solid on the shoulder, so I don't mind those white jerseys. But remember, when I played back in the early 2000s, a little bit of blood on those jerseys, so less blood for the red. So we'll stick with that, Cools.
16:26 to go, period number 2. Team Canada leads 2-0. Power play goal by Nate McKinnon. And then Jarvis to point to Marchand. Makes it 2-0 as Mika Zibanejad in front to William Nylander. And that was his best chance of the game. Binnington getting a pad, then a glove on that one. Ricard Raquel keeps it in for Nylander. Far point. He gets bumped by McDavid, but the puck doesn't come out. Oh, I guess it did. Sends play into a whistle and a stoppage outside the Team Canada zone.
Sweden taking advantage of a bit of a misplay by Parayko there, getting that to the net. But you look at McDavid there in forcing that offside. Just look at the work of both ends of the puck. Yes, he can control the play with his legs and his feet on the offensive end, but he seems like he's dialed in on both ends of the ice for Canada so far.
What do you think of William Nylander so far, period and a bit?
We've covered him a long time. He's quiet until he's the loudest one in the room, so we know. Let's not be calling for what we think can, and I think eventually will happen with regards to Nylander.
Nylander was hoping for a breakaway pass that was interrupted, and now Reinhart with a shot blocker save by Gustafsson, who's been the best Swedish player despite giving up the 2 goals. Puck chipped down the ice. Looks like icing is coming up as Makar keeps Ricard Raquel in front of him. And we'll see if Team Canada changes. They do for fresh troops. And a face-off will come to the right of Gustafsson, who's got a .915 save percentage this year. I just saw Bill Guerin in the hallway. He says, am I on with you tomorrow? And I said, not that I know of, but if you want to come on, you can come on whenever you want.
It's funny. I got a tap, but I turned around, and it was Billy G, too. So it's great to see him in his Minnesota Wild as he's here to watch a couple of the players on his team in this tournament. Shout out to Billy G.
Face-off won by Team Canada. Shot from the point. Just goes wide by Devon Taves. Behind the net for Crosby. Bumped off the puck by Hedman. See, Hedman, he doesn't get credit for all those body checks. Size matters, and he uses his size to knock a pretty good player off the puck.
Best description is Viking here. He's big, he's long, he's strong. Not intimidated. I remember him as an 18-year-old in the league. Not intimidated by guys. Plays heavy, whether you're a heavyweight.
Here's a chance for McKinnon. Right on. Gustafsson gets a piece of that one as it dribbles to Joel Eriksson-Ek. Up for Lucas Raymond, over to Jesper Bratt, who's having a very good season for the Devils. 1 point behind Jack Hughes, who's 10th. Jesper Bratt was a 6th-round pick. There you go. Took a while to develop. Ken Danico said, Cooley, this guy's going to be a good one. And you know what? Ken was right, speaking of cup champs.
And I talk about underrated players all the time, but Bratt is one of those guys for the New Jersey Devils. 64 points right now. He does have 14 penalty minutes and a +9. And that's a guy that can quietly go about his business and put up those points as he looks to get Sweden back into this game.
73, 73, 83. He'll get to 20-plus goals this year. Maybe not 80 points, but in the 70s. Scoring slightly down as we got a breakaway. Lucas Raymond. And there's Binnington's best save as he gets a blocker on that one as Cirelli crashed into the net. A convenient whistle after the Swedes get a bit of a break but can't score.
Best opportunity for the game by Sweden there. Nice little area pass as Raymond goes in there, goes to his backhand, and he's got one of the deadliest backhands in the National Hockey League. Just a little bit off his mark there as Binnington steps up. And it's tough for him performing and only not getting a lot of volume and really dialed in. He seemed like he tracked that pretty good to keep the game 2-0 through the period's first 6 minutes.
We're approaching our first TV radio time out. Are the Swedes better? If so, how much better, Stewie?
They got more energy. They have more energy there, Cools. They're pushing the pace. They have a little bit more hop in their step. They have a little bit more pride.
Face-off control by Canada. The rim for Marchand on a set face-off play. I'm sure you used that one, Stewie. Face-off to the right of Binnington. Win the draw. Left-handed shot around the boards. But Marchand couldn't get to the puck.
Yeah, Marchand seemed to start his route a little bit late there, too. And, he's one of those guys that he knows how to jump the play and really anticipate. He was off probably there by a split second as he now talks to Taze. Hey, that's my bad. I'll get it next time, guys.
He's not going anywhere, right? He'll stay in Boston
if Boston does not make this playoffs, there's going to be big changes. I think it can happen. They make the decision. They punt it till after the season. That's my 2 cents on that.
The playoffs started October 4th in Prague. After the 2 games, the Sabres were officially eliminated. Too soon?
Wow.
The Devils were off and running.
We have fans from all over listening, Cooley. We got to be careful here.
The people in Buffalo are mad for, one bigger reason and a whole bunch of little Sabre reasons right now. Carlson, rink wide to Hedman as Zibanejad won that draw. Marchand lifts the stick as Zibanejad. It comes to Point, who gets it out to Jarvis. Back to Point's got Marchand again, far side. But a good stick by 65. Marchand, wraparound, no. Instead, he passes off. And what a save on Drew Doughty, who has had a very strong game so far.
He's dialed in. He's one of the best defensemen in the league and just activating, timing in space, and picking when to jump in, and he almost made it 3-0 there.
Much better game now that the Swedes have some energy and execution. Hedman, there he is again, pinching in from his point position to keep it in momentarily, and back comes Seth Jarvis. Fourth-year Kane, 31 goals last year, but I think Reinhart was a step ahead of the play offside, and because of that, we'll head to the break. 33 for Jarvis last year. You're listening to Team Canada Sweden 2-0 in the second period, live from the Bell Center, Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Experience the breathtaking journey of nature's most resilient travelers. Butterflies. Don't miss Butterfly Journey in IMAX at TELUS World of Science Edmonton. Take flight with the butterflies and get your tickets today at telusworldofscienceedmonton.ca.
880 Chad is dedicated to keeping Albertans talking and providing opportunities for our listeners to connect to those making the decisions impacting their daily lives. Have your voice heard and ask your questions Saturdays during Your Province, Your Premier with Premier Danielle Smith. Live on air, taking your calls, addressing your concerns, and providing the answers Albertans like you want to know. Your Province, Your Premier. Saturdays at 10 a.m. only on 880 Chad.
Great news. Truckloads of national inventory are still arriving at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, and it all must go. Massive markdowns on a huge selection of factory overstock recliners, sofas, sectionals, chairs, dining room and bedroom suites, and more. Don't miss out. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries factory authorized clearance sale on now. South Edmonton Common and in the West on 170th. And at the Factory Outlet and Clearance Center, 152nd and 137th Ave.
Your lottery ticket answers the call that dispatches the crew that's airborne within minutes. Your lottery ticket powers the helicopter that's equipped with life-saving technology. Your lottery ticket is someone's lifeline. Stars Lottery. Your ticket fuels our mission to provide critical care anywhere. Only 2 days left to win the Porsche 911 bonus prize or $225,000. 40 years, one mission. Get your tickets today at starslottery.ca. License 712760, Alberta only. 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Now more than ever, shopping and supporting local is critical to Canadian business. Sentinel Storage is truly Canadian-owned and operated, proudly serving our communities for more than 40 years. Shop Canadian, store Canadian at sentinelstorage.ca.
You're listening to 4Nations Face Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 Chad, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Here they come, the boys in the bright white.
Live at the Bell Center in Montreal, Team Canada leading the Swedes by a score of 2-0. The last time they met best on best was actually the gold medal game in Russia in 2014. They did not play at the World Cup in 2016. Canada's 10-2 against the Swedes, and one would call this a Team Canada clinic so far.
Yes, through the first half of the game here, they just seem to be all over the ice, clogging up the neutral zone for Sweden, getting pucks on net. Seems like a clinic so far, as you mentioned.
Josh Morrissey gets it into the far corner, loses it, has to retreat back to his position, but there's Reinhart to, well, we saw him break up a 2-on-1 earlier. This is the thing. One goes up, one goes back. That's the clinic type hockey you're talking about, Stewie.
Yeah, Canada just has to be swarming the puck in numbers. They have players all over the ice.
Like Connor McDavid does the Gretzky curl, left wing circle. He looked for Reinhart, who maybe wasn't expecting it, but it went under his stick. Had he had his stick on the ice, that would have been a chance.
Yeah, and Reinhart's one of those guys. If he gets that puck on his stick below the dots, more than likely it's going in the net. 31 goals this year, 62 points for Florida Panthers as he continues those goal scoring stalwartness.
Yeah, mentioned earlier, he had the Cup winner last year, 10 goals in 24 games. As McDavid goes in after the puck, make that Crosby, 87, over to Stone with a shot. Nice save there by Gustafsson as Crosby ended up in the net. Taves pinches, gets caught. Here come the Swedes on a possible 2-on-1. Arvidsson rink wide looking for Hedman, but it was broken up by Devon Taves.
Great job by Stone on the back check there to actually create some time and space for Taves to get back and get a stick in the lane.
Icing against Team Canada, 12:29 on the clock. Swedes already have as many shots in the first 7:31 as they did in the first period. Much better game, but the Swedes are now engaged. And Victor Hedman, boy, oh boy. I mean, what he did there, his last two shifts, pinching in. He knows it's 2-0, and you get 3 points for a regulation win, Stewie. This might change the ideology for teams right now.
Yes, they need to find a way to step up, and it's almost like a heavyweight boxing match. We're in round 4 where the game is starting to open up.
Forsberg with a shot through a screen, and somehow Binnington saw that. That could have been a beautifully executed face-off play. Do you like 3-2-1 for the NHL or only for tournament play?
We like the National Hockey League is known for its parity, and sometimes with those 3 points, there's some interdivisional rivalries where it's a little bit misconstrued. And those 3 points, I don't like it. I like the 2 for a win, 1 for a loss or overtime loss as well.
If we do go to overtime, we are using the NHL rulebook. 2 changes, 3-2-1. That's one of the changes, and the other is 10 minutes. Sudden death 3-on-3, Stewie, which means, do you think we'll ever see a shootout at this event?
I don't think so. I don't think so with all this talent, especially offensive juggernauts that all these teams have in this tournament. I don't think it goes past the 5-minute mark, let alone a shootout.
Braden Point, speed wobble, loses it. Back come the Swedes with numbers. Forsberg in front of the net, looking for Fiala, but it was broken up. Forsberg gets it back again. He's starting to fly in the period. Shot goes blocked in front there by Seth Jarvis. Kept into Pettersson. Cycles it behind the net for Fiala. Comes to the far side. Jarvis is the only player there, and he just gets it out to center. 2-0 Team Canada. Period number 2. I'm Steve Coulias along with Anthony Stewart, Scotty Laughlin, and the rest of our Sirius XM crew. Is that shot from outside the blue line? Binnington took no chances. Because of that, no change for Team Canada and no shovels on the ice.
Yeah, a bit of a hope play by Forsberg a couple plays ago and just putting it in an area, hoping that someone coming down the pipe to put that puck in. We talked about the volume, but you got to have a better quality and shot selection to get the puck by Binnington, who seems like he's dialed in through the game's first half here.
Mika Zibanejad back at it. He's played some wing with JT Miller, was a center and scored in the Columbus game. Before the break, wins the draw cleanly to Carlson, right point. Far side for Ekholm. No play, so he dumps it off the Canadian Tire sign, and it comes to Nylander. He loses it, and out comes Team Canada's fourth line, led by Anthony Cirelli. He was on the B squad at the Generals tryout camp. They said he's the best player. He went to the A squad. He made the team, scored the Memorial Cup winner, Stanley Cup champion as well. A story of perseverance.
You hear that, kids? You don't have to be the first pick of the first round to have an opportunity, not just to make the NHL, but have a starring role in the league too.
27 years of age, 2015 Memorial Cup. He's got 20 goals, Stewie. 20 goals on your fourth line. It's not bad.
And that could be a key to success for this Team Canada, as they have probably 80, 90 goals hidden on that fourth line. You're seeing Konechny, Bennett, who's been out. He's having a pretty good year as well too. Hagel could put the puck in the net. We already know what Marchand could do. That's a lot of talent. That's line 2, A, B, and C, if you ask me.
Face-off controlled by the Swedes to the left of Philip Gustafsson. Comes to Taves at the point. His shot's knocked down by Zibanejad. Up to Nylander, who doesn't have a stick, or it would have been a 2-on-1.
Well, bad luck there as he looked to join a 2-on-2 with Raquel.
Raquel behind the net being watched by Taves. Leaves it for Doughty. Great play by Red Wing right winger Lucas Raymond to get it back to Hedman. Walks the line. No shot. Brodin scores! Jonas Brodin. Short side shelf. What a play. What a shot. The Swedes are back in it. It's 2-1.
Great shot by Brodin there, and a perfect time to get that goal, to get back into this game, to make it 2-1. Drew Doughty got caught a little bit trying to front the shot. It opened up that seam pass, and Brodin just roofed it for the first goal of the game here for Sweden. So looking at Binnington, I think he got a little bit caught in his crease there, a little bit stuck on that goal line. I'm sure he wanted that one back as he looked to get to the top of his crease, but that's what Sweden has to do. Just put the puck on the net, and it just found eyes and found a way to go top shelf to pull them within one.
Jonas Brodin, one of the top defensive defensemen for over a decade now. 837 games. And you know what? There might have been a partial screen, but Binnington went into the butterfly when a VH option would have been better, Stewie, because that shot came from the right side of the right wing circle. Martin Biron's going to be angry wherever he is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think he's the goalie coach, but again, I'm sure he'll go over the video to take a look at that. But, you know, what I noticed from up here, he just seemed like he was a little bit caught, probably 2-3 feet into the crease from where he should have been. But maybe he was worried about a backdoor pass with a rebound. But I'm sure if he goes back and takes a look, he probably wanted to front that a little bit better there.
10:07 on the clock here, period number 2. Swedes have life. Already 6 shots on goal in the frame. Officially, it's Brodin from Hedman and Raymond, who made a great play. Lucas Raymond, who's had a good game, as has Victor Hedman. So the Swedes are back into this one. The proverbial 2-0 lead is gone for Team Canada. Play comes to Nylander up top. His shot is blocked. Back to Hedman. Walks the line in front of the net. Oh, what a save by Binnington as Ricard Raquel had the 2-2 goal on his stick. Binnington responds after the Brodin goal to keep it out.
He seems like he hit the reset button there, and great job by Hedman. He knows that you're probably not going to get a puck through from there. What does he do? Gets it a couple inches off the ice for the redirect from Raquel, who almost tied the game 2-2.
Team Canada 2, Sweden is on the board. We are live from the Bell Center in Montreal. This game is coming to you live on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Will I be treated fairly?
Will I have enough money to pay my bills?
Will my kids be okay?
I'm Corey Anderson, a resolution expert at Fairway Divorce Solutions. If these are some of the many questions you're asking yourself, we can help. Our team of experienced mediators, financial planners, and in-house lawyers will help you answer these questions and negotiate a fair resolution that will allow you to see the clear road to a new life. Join us at fairwaydivorce.com.
Bring your better half, your best friend, bring everyone to enjoy this 2-can-dine offer from Royal Pizza. All February long, choose any medium gourmet pizza, a meal-sized Caesar, Greek or tossed salad, and a slice of dessert for only $37.95. This 2-can-dine offer ends February 28th, so hurry into your nearest Edmonton and area Royal Pizza today. For great food and great value, Royal Pizza is the perfect choice.
So come on home, Royal Pizza. Still making it great.
Your furnace can die in the blink of an eye, usually on the coldest night. So why take that chance this winter? Furnace Family, ATCO's newest home service company, can help. Not sure of your furnace's condition? We can check it for free with the purchase of a new furnace, giving you peace of mind and total comfort all winter long. Lennox is offering up to $2,000 in rebates on the ultimate Lennox system. So call Furnace Family, Home Services by ATCO, today. Jingle time.
Done right, day or night, furnacefamily.com. The Gentleman Pros. When your plumbing or your heating needs a pro, or your electrical needs someone in the know, give the Gentleman a call, cause you know we fix it all. We'll be sure to make it right before we go. You'll love our quick response and helpful style. It's easy, all you have to do is dial. Friendly people you can trust, leave the dirty work to us. The Gentleman Pros make you smile. The Gentleman Pros make you smile.
You're listening to 4Nations Face Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 CHED, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
On SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, and the SiriusXM app as well. Season resumes Saturday, February 22nd. We're in the 4 Nations break, and we're at the Bell Center in Montreal, halfway through regulation time, Stewie, as Jonas Brodin scores a big goal, and back comes Mika Zibanejad to Ricard Raquel in front of the net. William Nylander with some jump here in period number 2. Has Victor Hedman left the ice? He gets it to Carlson, but that shot is blocked by Mitch Marner, who has not been noticeable here in period number 2. Here comes Nylander with a shot, blocked by Cale Makar's stick. Good active stick as the Swedes have turned this game around. Jonas Brodin only has 4 goals in the regular season, not known as a goal scorer. Been hurt this year, which has hurt the Wild and Billy Guerin as the puck dribbles out to center ice.
Great block shot by Mitch Marner, right? And we talk about the offensive prowess, but he's one of those guys that plays a good 200-foot game.
Here's a breakaway chance for Victor Arvidsson. Binnington came out of the crease. The play was just onside. The long lead feed from Brodin. And it's picked off by Josh Morrissey. Jets defenseman gets it to Seth Jarvis. This line's been noticeable. Point, Jarvis, and Marchand. The third line's done a good job.
Yeah, both ends of the puck, a lot of energy, getting it on the forecheck, making those little pot passes, playing the game the right way, and providing energy at the same time. That's what they need just for this Team Canada team.
Matthias Ekholm, nice feed to Arvidsson. He was looking for Elias Pettersson, or Elias Lindholm, make that on the right wing, but that play was also broken up. Swedes are coming in waves right now as we approach the 12-minute mark, period number 2. Canada led 2-0 after 1. Brodin's goal has the Swedes back in a game who've been better right from the opening face-off here in period number 2. Travis Konechny fires right winger. Missed the first day of practice with an illness, but is in the lineup as the fourth-line right winger. Dumps it into the far corner. Hagel bumps Forsberg off the puck. Cirelli picks it up. Back to the point to Makar. Shooting. Blocked by Forsberg up top. And it's knocked out to center ice and brought back in by Cirelli. Offside on the play. That's Canada's best shift since when?
Since the 35th of February. No, a couple shifts ago. Sweden was bringing back a little bit of heat there, but Canada getting back to the basics of what makes them successful. Heavy hockey, winning the puck battles along the walls, and thriving below the dots. And when you do that, it forces Sweden to collapse. And what does that do? It opens up those point shots. So Makar, I'm sure if he can get that one back, he can do a little bit of a better job to try to get it off quicker to beat Sweden trying to block that shot.
Cale Makar, 20 goals, leads all defensemen. Cale Makar, 63 points, leads all defensemen. Shea Theodore, 48 points on the year. All he does is produce 40 after 40 after 40 for Vegas. And remember, Theodore went from the Ducks to Vegas so they wouldn't pick up Josh Manton and Sami Vatanen. As that puck dribbles towards the net. Oh, what a play by Dahlin to keep it out. As Team Canada almost had a 3-1 lead. As the net is knocked off its moorings. An innocent play somehow got through Gustafsson. The Sabre captain is the hero.
Yeah, so there's been some talk about Sidney Crosby and can he thrive along the wing, and he's one of those guys that he's a power forward, and just getting a stick on there, almost putting it past Gustafsson there as McKinnon crashes the crease to almost put it in, but great job by Dahlin getting a great stick. That's an elite stick, elite awareness, and keeping the game 2-1. Amazing.
Well, we talk about game-changing moments. The Brodin goal has changed this game. That play there with Crosby and McKinnon as they teamed up on the first goal. And what a beauty that was. A blind backhand feed to a backdoor. Nate McKinnon makes it 1-0 early. Marchand 2-0, and then the Brodin goal as McDavid wins the draw to the area to the right of Gustafsson. Cale Makar spinning away from a check. Back to the point to Marner. Loses it, but it rolls to Parayko. Gets it into the corner, far corner for Connor McDavid. Back to the right point for Parayko with a shot right on. Swallowed by Gustafsson, and there's no further play.
And Connor McDavid just seems like he freezes those defenders because he could turn on a dime. He can make a play on a dime, and it almost just forces those defenders just to sort of stop in their tracks, and that opens up the shot there as well. So McDavid, he's just putting on a clinic every single shift, doing those little intricate details that makes him ultimately the best player in the world. So looking for him just to continue to dominate, and eventually it looks like Sweden's going to wear down with Hedman playing, a majority of these minutes for the whole entire team.
McKinnon's line goes right back out there, but the puck comes to Nylander off the draw, and he comes in 2-on-2 with Rickard Rakell. Far corner, Rakell tries to center it, broken up by the skate of Makar, who gets a stick in the chin. That shot is broken up, and Crosby's got a chance. 1-on-1 with Hedman. Crosby with a shot. Fires it over top of the left corner. Puck comes in front to Crosby. Checked by Hedman. What a play by the Lightning and Swedish captain and Nate Sidney Crosby. Maybe his stick was in the way on that shot that just whistled wide.
Hedman, one of the toughest guys to beat. You almost have to take the scenic route around him because he's so long, he's so heavy. You saw him hold off Crosby with one arm there. One of the strongest players in the whole entire National Hockey League.
1,105 games, 772 points for the second overall pick in the 2009 draft. Speaking of 40-point seasons, he's got that, but he does so much more. Power play 1, PK 1, even strength. Talked about him and all the ice time in the first period. I think he's partly turned this game around in period number 2 as Marchand flips it looking for Seth Jarvis, broken up by Forsberg, and Karlsson comes back the other way. Karlsson to Kevin Fiala in the right wing circle. Spins back to the point, back to Karlsson. Rink wide for Pettersson, bobbled it. Fiala with a shot. That looked like a nice set offensive play, and the puck just fired wide to the far side. Marchand, no play, so he flips it to center as this line is hemmed in their own zone. One of the few shifts in the game where the Marchand group with Jarvis and Point has had some trouble. McDavid in his own zone has trouble with it. Comes to Lindholm, gets it over to Arvidsson with a shot. Dribbles into the corner where Arvidsson retrieves it, gets it back to Dahlin at the point. Near side for Forsberg, far side. Oh, what a chance for Arvidsson. He may have fanned on that one, and it hit the side of the net as McDavid comes back with Reinhart 2-on-2. Chipping and chasing is McDavid. Reinhart goes in after it first. Puck comes to the near side. Arvidsson wins the battle. Rink wide feed to Gustav Forsling. He gets it in, and the Swedes change on the fly as we're under 5 minutes to go in period number 2, a period where the Swedes have been the better team, out-shooting, out-playing, and outscoring Canada as Hedman couldn't keep it in at the left point.
Yeah, you saw Connor McDavid there dump the puck in, so I'm sure that's probably a instruction by Coach John Cooper, as they're probably saying, you know what, let's get out of this period 2-1 and worry about maybe the offensive prowess in the third period. So they're sitting back a little bit as Sweden is turning it on this final 10 minutes of the second period.
An errant pass there for Taves. He does recover in time from Doughty. Doughty goes off, and Team Canada's defense is changing. Raymond between the legs to Bratt, in over the line, spinorama like Patrick Kane. Plays it into the near corner. In after it's Lucas Raymond, who's had a very good game and an excellent period here for Sweden. Canada recovers and comes back 3-on-2. In over the line, Cirelli. Rink wide. Hagel loose in front of the net. And Konechny couldn't put it in. That was a great stick check. Who? By Jonas Brodin. Swedes back 3-on-2. Raymond with a shot. Binnington steers it aside. Back to the right point. Ekholm lets it go. Oh, and he didn't miss the top left-hand corner by much. As Canada once again with the high flip. It's Konechny almost made it 3-1 earlier.
Yeah, great job by him driving that net. Not necessarily seeing where that puck was. He was just going to the top of the goal mouth as he almost redirected it to make it a 3-1 game.
Under 3 to go. Raquel in on the forecheck. Comes away with the loose puck as he wins the battle against Taves. Taves is on here with Colton Parayko. Nate McKinnon is in there as the defensive center. Crosby spin around feed, doesn't work to McKinnon. Stone has to recover and send it to Crosby right wing, and here he comes. Sidney Crosby, shoulder down, cuts to the net, stop, in front, they score! Mark Stone buries it. Late period number 2, and Canada now leads. It's 3-1.
Great job by Sidney Crosby on the entry. And what makes him one of the top players in the world, as he enters, he takes a look, doesn't just drive the puck, takes a look, absorbs the contact, does a little spinorama, and waits for Stone to get to the crease, and he makes no mistake as he puts the puck home 5-hole. And Stone, how many goals have you seen him score like that for the Vegas Golden Knights? Seems like they have a lot of chemistry tonight as Team Canada takes the 3-1 lead.
William Nylander was in the slot. He didn't realize the danger over his right shoulder, but that was Sidney Crosby. He's had 2 power moves in this period, almost scored. gets an assist right there, and Mark Stone takes one shot, bingo. And you know what? Statistically this year, 42 games, this might be his best 42-game stretch of Mark Stone's career.
Yeah, he's got 14 goals, and he's one of those guys that just finds those little soft areas of coverage between the defense and the offense in the O-zone there. Great job as he makes no mistake. But amazing play by Sidney Crosby, who we've seen him do that for close to 20 years.
49 points in 42 games for Mark Stone. He's not been that type of offensive player and is regarded as one of the best penalty killers and defensive players in the game. As back come the Swedes 2-on-1. Pedersen has Forsberg with them. Spins off into the corner. Didn't want to feather a pass through. Carlson shoots. Blocked there. Looks like Cale Makar. Ekholm now left point. Comes down the left side. Goes behind the net. Had a wraparound chance. Spun one towards the net, but it deflected into the corner. Elias Lindholm has it. Back to Ekholm, or back to Ekholm at his point. Leaves it for Carlson with a shot. Binnington doesn't know where it is. He does the Hasek, and it stays out as the Swedes poured it on and almost scored with 90 seconds to go.
And Coles, I hope that did not go into the net, because we'd be sitting here having a goaltender interference debate. And great job by Carlson really getting that puck through.
Taking a look at the replay here. No worries, Stewie, for goalie interference. We're going to take a break. Team Canada has just scored. They lead 3-1. You're listening to the 4Nations Face-Off on Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Canada, U.S., and around the world. Stay with us.
This summer, YEG is set to be electrified as the Rock and Thunder Music Festival crashes onto the Exhibition Lands racetrack July 11th and 12th with a legendary lineup featuring Def Leppard, Weezer, Joan Jett, Stone Temple Pilots, and more. Ready to feel the thunder? Get your tickets and full deets now at rockandthunderfest.com. And keep the dial locked on the one and only 880 Chad for your chance to catch the Rock of Ages.
From the casinos of Vegas to the bingo halls of Leduc, everybody wants a piece of Lady Luck. And what thanks do I get? It's like I don't even exist.
There's no such thing as luck. If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Hey, honey, did you see our heating bill this month? Wow.
Don't remind me. We're wasting too much money because of our old windows.
WindowMart is a trusted partner for windows and door replacement projects. Book your free in-home consultation today at windowmart.ca.
Ain't it beautiful? Experience outstanding. Available now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid. A refined driving experience without compromise. Right now, lease the XC90 plug-in hybrid from just 1.49% and save $4,500. Only at Volvo Cars Edmonton. #1 in new vehicle sales. 14-time Volvo Excellence Award winner. Come experience outstanding sales and service.
Your Alberta Co-op Ag teams are your trusted partners to support your entire farm operation, and we're giving back to our community. Since 2017, Co-op has invested $371 million in Alberta through building, upgrading, and expanding local facilities, and we've returned $347 million to Co-op members. Co-op, we're building something for the future. Here for your farm, here for your family. Learn more at coop.crs/farm.
You're listening to 4Nations Face-Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 Chad, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Back to live action at the Bell Center. Sidney Crosby's got 2 assists. Canada leads 3-1. Swedes are pressing here, trying to make it a 3-2 game with under 90 seconds to go. Mitch Marner, his own zone, just sends it down the ice. Trying to kill the clock here. Puck comes back to Morrissey in his own zone. Rink wide for Parayko. Up to Connor McDavid. In over the line. Far side. Stops in the right wing circle. Back to the point to Parayko. Has no shot. Nylander in the shooting lane. Parayko throws it behind the net. Marner is there. Falls. McDavid gets it back to Morrissey at the left point. Into the slot for Reinhart. Once again, it skips over his stick. Marner far side. Looks for McDavid behind the net. Comes all the way back to Morrissey. Tried to center it for Reinhart. Picked off by Hedman. Gets it up to Forsberg. Back to Carlson with speed in over the line. right wing circle. Watched by two red sweaters behind the net for Zibanejad in front. Almost went off McDavid and in. Binnington and company catch a break there.
Yeah, last minute of the period there. Could have got caught sleeping, but good job by Binnington staying awake.
Joel Eriksson in his own zone. Starting out. Rink wide for Matthias Ekholm. He loses the puck. Comes to Drew Doughty. Gets it behind the net to Devon Taves. Throws it down the ice. There might be one more whistle. And there's the siren. So unless they put any time here on the clock, Canada does get out of the period. How they entered the period, my friend, with a 2-goal lead.
Much better period and response from Team Sweden as Jonas Brodin got on the board, activating a little bit down the wall, catching Binnington a little bit inside his crease. But great response a couple minutes later as Mark Stone buries his first of the tournament from a great pass, an entry by Sidney Crosby, who now has 2 assists.
They put .7 on the clock. I think I've seen Drew Doughty score in Boston as a overtime goal with .4. Joel Eriksson tried to shoot it off the draw. That's all you can really do. We get 2 sirens. It's not them chasing you on the 401, Stewie. Instead, the teams exchange goals and Team Canada leads 3-1, but the Swedes were way better in period number 2.
Much better response as they started with just getting pucks on the net. They did a great job on their entries, really stretching out that O-zone, getting pucks to the point, D to D, firing it on net, getting Binnington moving in his crease, and eventually catching him a little bit sleeping to make the game 2-1. But great response by the leadership group of that Team Canada. Sidney Crosby activating, getting in on the rush, taking a great look as he enters the zone. Nice little slot pass to Mark Stone to make it 3-1. So if I'm Canada, again, they bent a little bit. They did not break as they go into the third period with a 3-1 lead. So if I'm John Cooper, yeah, you might want that one back, the first one that Sweden scored, but they're in great shape as they head up into the third period, up 3-1.
9 shots on goal for the Swedes in that one. We're going to go downstairs now. And joining us is Detroit Red Wings right winger and a member of the Swedish national team, Lucas Raymond. Lucas, your team was way better in the second period. How do you explain the flat start in period number 1?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, some nerves play into it. And, you know, with their crowd, we knew they were going to come out hard. And obviously not the first, but I thought we played pretty good here in the second.
What was one of the messages from the coach during that first intermission? Was one of them getting more pucks and a little bit more volume on the net?
Yeah, I think biggest thing is just play, right? Like, go out, we know we're good players, we know we're going to create. So, need to get the pucks behind their D, make them turn, and then obviously shot volume being a part of it.
You made a great play that set up the Brodin goal, tracking the puck down and getting it back to the point. I thought you had a really good period. Take us through that goal, Lucas.
Yeah, I think Raquel did a hell of a job just getting it deep and hanging on to it. Was able to pick it up, get it up to Hetty up top, and then he got it to Brodin, and he made an unreal shot.
Great point by you. 3-1 after 2. Good luck in period number 3 and the rest of the tournament, Lucas.
Thank you.
Lucas Redmond of the Detroit Red Wings and, of course, of the Swedes made a great play on that goal. When we come back, Scotty Laughlin standing by with the second intermission report. Teams exchange goals in period number 2. Canada up 3-1. You're listening to the 4Nations Face-Off live from the Bell Center in Montreal on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Hey, Ralph Vandenberg here from Vandenberg's Jewelers. This first in the series is about diamond color. When diamonds are pure, they are 100% carbon and don't absorb light. All the light that hits the gem is allowed to reflect, refract, and be dispersed from the stone. When atomic level impurities of nitrogen or other elements are present, the stone will absorb light, usually making the stone appear yellow or dark. GIA's scale goes from D to Z depending on the amount of color or grayness in the stone. An E color will always have less color and therefore be more brilliant than an H. An educated shopper is our best client. Vandenberg's downtown, Manulife Place.
I know we've been through a lot together, but I think it's time we move on. I just need a bathroom that's a little more this century.
Break up with that old and outdated bathroom and get into a beautiful, functional, and easy-to-clean modern bathroom with Wave Bathroom Renovations. Whether it's your 3-piece main bathroom, powder room, or a 4-piece ensuite bathroom, Wave has got you covered. Get your bathroom reno started today. Head to the Wave Bathroom Renovations showroom at 4817 99th Street.
Let's go!
There's so much flavor.
Cheers. It's time to get warmed up.
This is going to be one hell of a competition.
We're just getting started.
What'd you guys make? The winning meal.
Wow.
There's a party happening in my mouth.
I'm here and I'm hungry.
I love to cook. Ooh, I was called a chef. I must be doing something right.
This spring, only on Flavor Network. Stream on Stack TV.
Brought to you by Think Turkey, official launch partner of Flavor Network.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming an 880 Ched Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment. Sign up now at 880ched.com and click on Ched Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 880 Ched, Edmonton's news, today's talk, where Edmonton stays informed and entertained today and every day.
Hey, Mom, it's just cold as a rink in here. I'm going to try to get some more practice in.
I really need to replace those windows.
When your home starts feeling like you're back at the arena, it's time to replace your windows. Window Mart is your trusted partner when you need to replace your old, drafty windows and doors. Their Energy Star rated windows and doors will keep your home feeling cozy all year long. Book your free in-home consultation today. Head to windowmart.ca.
Eurospot introduces Oops Moment number 8. Did you know up to 37% of women over 40 failed to reach the toilet in time? Take Bev, for example, who had a sudden urge while walking in the snow with no place to go. At Eurospot, Bev did 11,000 Kegels in 28 minutes, simply by doing nothing but sitting on a chair fully clothed and planning her next hike. After 6 sessions at Eurospot, she's buying snowshoes. If you want to enjoy the outdoors, visit us at urospot.com to strengthen your pelvic floor.
You're listening to 4Nations Face Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 Ched, proudly sponsored by Repays Magic.
Welcome back live from the Bell Center in Montreal. Scott Laughlin with you here. This is the 4Nations Face-Off Intermission Report on Sirius XM and NHL Network Radio. Well, a better period for Team Sweden, quite frankly. In the first half of the second period, they really seemed to take the oxygen out of the building to a large extent. They seemed to settle the game down. But, boy, that last goal by Canada to once again up their advantage to 2 goals really hurts Sweden's chances going to period number 3. And now of concern for Team Canada, Shea Theodore appears to be hurt, and we wonder just exactly what that means coming up throughout the rest of the tournament. Travis Sanheim, if Theodore is unable to return tonight, if he's unable to return in the tournament, who knows? Sanheim could be back in the lineup, could actually get into the lineup for that game against the American squad coming up on Saturday. But first, we'll tell you how we got here. Steve Cooley and Anthony Stewart doing a great job in terms of play-by-play and bringing you the call here from the Bell Center tonight. We'll go back to the opening minute of the opening period of this tournament. And after William Nylander took a high sticking penalty, that vaunted Canadian power play, PP1, on paper it looked good, and in reality it looked great as well. Here's Cooley and Stewie with a call.
Crosby, near side to McDavid. McDavid and Crosby play catch in the corner. Out in front of the net, they score! Nate McKinnon, just like that. Canada draws first blood. It's 1-0.
97-87-29. Those are your lottery numbers for the opening goal of the tournament. Canada, it's Nathan McKinnon getting his first. Crosby with a great cross-crease feed. McDavid had dumped it down to Crosby in the meantime, and the captain made the most of it. So Marchand gets the goal in the later in the second period, make that the first period to give Canada that 2-0 lead. But it was McKinnon, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, who got that goal from Crosby and McDavid to open the scoring. And again, that was 44 seconds in when Nylander had the high sticking penalty. 11 seconds later, PP1 goes to work, and Canada had the lead, which is not really unexpected based upon the great atmosphere in the building to start. Mario Lemieux and others coming out to drop the opening face-off, as we know. And I got ahead of myself, as we say, a little bit later on in the period. Brad Marchand gets his first from Braden Point and Seth Jarvis, and Cooley's here to tell you how they did it.
As the puck comes to Jarvis on a 2-on-1. Jarvis in front, they score! Brad Marchand from Seth Jarvis. And just like that, Team Canada leads. It's 2-0.
It was was 2-0. Ironically enough, it was Swedish captain Victor Hedman who got caught up ice in the neutral zone. Canada transitions back the other way, gets a 2-on-1, and it was Braden Point with a great feed to Marchand, and it was 2-0 for Canada after 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal in the opening period, 7-3 in favor of Canada. In fact, it took the Swedes nearly 14 minutes to register their first shot on goal. It was a rather innocent attempt coming in off the left wing, a backhander by William Nylander that was stopped by Jordan Binnington, but it was 2-0 for Canada after 20 minutes. So little doubt as to who the better team was in the opening period. Connor McDavid, I thought, was the best player on the ice during that opening stanza. On we would go to period number 2, and as we say, credit the Swedes for kind of slowing the game down, settling the game down, and getting back into it. And just shy of the midway mark of the second period, the Swedes got on the board.
Great play by Red Wing right winger Lucas Raymond to get it back to Hedman. Walks the line. No shot. Brodin scores! Jonas Brodin. Short side shelf. What a play. What a shot. The Swedes are back in it. It's 2-1.
Great shot by Brodin there, and a perfect time to get that goal, to get back into this game, to make it 2-1.
Yeah, that was a great play, too, by Lucas Raymond, who actually was in on the forecheck and caused a bit of a turnover from Drew Doughty behind the net. He gets it back to Hedman, does Raymond. He gets it over to Brodin, and from a tough angle, looked like it got through a couple of players, certainly. It was a bit of a flutter ball that got past Jordan Binnington. Sweden were on the board at 9:33 of the second period. They trailed it by a score of 2-1. Now, Canada comes back just moments later, and they're looking to increase their advantage to 3-1, but enter Buffalo Sabres captain Rasmus Dahlin.
As that puck dribbles towards the net. Oh, what a play by Dahlin to keep it out. As Team Canada almost had a 3-1 lead. As the net is knocked off its moorings. An innocent play somehow got through Gustafsson. The Sabre captain is the hero.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, there was Dahlin to take the puck off essentially the goal line to keep it a 2-1 hockey game. Canada would not be denied, however. Seemed to, in the second half of the second period, really start to tip the balance back in their favor again. And, of course, it was the captain who led the way. Sidney Crosby gets away down the right side, those 37-year-old legs, serving him well to a certain extent. We saw that Gustav Forsling had a bit of an angle on him, so Crosby decided to wheel back and turn around 180 degrees and drop the puck for Mark Stone. Stone made it count, as it turns out, to make it 3-1 Canada.
Stone has to recover and send it to Crosby right wing, and here he comes. Sidney Crosby, shoulder down, cuts to the net, stop, in front, they score! Mark Stone buries it. Late period number 2, and Canada now leads. It's 3-1.
It was 3-1. The captain was doing all the work there to find Mark Stone to leave the puck for him and to put it past Gustafsson. He would, and it was 3-1 for Canada. In fact, that's the score after 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal in that second period in favor of Sweden. They outshot Canada 9-7. Shots on goal through the first 40 minutes of this game, 14-12 for Team Canada. But an interesting game from the standpoint that Canada came out, played so well with the crowd behind them in the first period. Swedes, the first half of the second, really seemed to get back in it, settle things down like we say, and it was up to the captain to make that great play to leave the puck for Mark Stone. He increases the lead back to 2 for Canada, 3-1 at that point. But the big concern right now is Shea Theodore. He left the game in the second period, a handful of minutes into the second, so Canada having to go throughout the rest of that period playing 5 defensemen, a little mix and matching going on by John Cooper as far as his combinations are concerned. Felt like Devon Taves got a couple of double shifts here and there in moving into a different pairing. Parayko played with Doughty at one point as well. So this will be a challenge for Team Canada in the third period, down to 5 defensemen, presumably without Shea Theodore the rest of the way. And then the question will become, is Theodore going to be good enough to play Saturday versus Team USA, or is Travis Sanheim going to get his opportunity to jump into the lineup for Team Canada? Either way, Canada being challenged on the back end with regards to an injury to the Vegas Golden Knights defenseman. Just talking with him earlier today, talking about the fact that right now he might be playing the best hockey of his entire NHL career. And that would be a big blow not only for Team Canada throughout the rest of the tournament, but of course for the Vegas Golden Knights as well, once we get back into action coming up in and around the 22nd of this month. So an interesting third period shaping up. Can the Swedes get back to what they did in the first half of the second period, or will Canada just kind of shut things down the rest of the way, maybe looking for a little bit more insurance along the way? All these questions and the answers forthcoming in period number 3. We will turn it back over to Cooley and to Stewie for the call of the third period. You've been listening to the 4 Nations Face-Off Intermission Report right here on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Edmonton police say a 30-year-old woman ended up being found dead inside a home near 95th Avenue and 91st Street yesterday morning, with a 36-year-old man arrested a short time later after fleeing the scene. Police say they knew each other, with an autopsy scheduled for tomorrow as the homicide section begins to investigate. The EPS has also released pictures of one of the suspects in a cannabis store robbery last October. Arrest warrants have been issued for 19-year-old Seth Newman, with police saying he also has ties to parts of Saskatchewan. Down south, the Calgary Police Service says an on-duty police service dog ended up biting a young girl this afternoon on the city's east side. The girl had been in a field that was being searched as officers responded to reports of a stolen vehicle in the community of Erin Woods. The child's injuries are described as minor, with ACERT, the province's police watchdog, investigating. The CPS says it's providing support to the child and her family due to the traumatic nature of the incident. Back home now, where the city of Edmonton is cutting out Sunday service for 311 calls starting in March. The change is being made to save money. Urgent matters will be directed to a different line. And Alberta now has the highest per capita rate of vehicle thefts in Canada, while nationally the theft of passenger vehicles dropped by almost 19% last year. Alberta has emerged as an area of concern, with thefts and a revinning of those stolen vehicles surging. A report by the Écoute Association says thieves in Alberta seem to be shifting away from older trucks used to commit other crimes toward newer, higher-value vehicles stolen for export. 880 CHED weather down to minus 24 overnight with a wind chill of minus 29. A mixed sky tomorrow with a high of minus 20 as the risk of flurries continues. I'm Thomas Dias. News on demand at 880ched.com.
This report is brought to you by Trail Appliances. Want cleaner dishes, whiter clothes, softer hair, and appliances that last longer? Get a Kinetico home water system from Trail Appliances.
As your elderly parents get older, their need for personalized care becomes more and more important. When your loved one needs support, call Home Instead so they can live their lives where they're most comfortable, at home. For about $2,000 a month, Home Instead is able to offer great care to your loved ones in the comfort and familiar setting of their own home. That's under $400 a week. When your elderly loved one needs more care, choose Home Instead as your care partner. Visit homeinstead.com.
Hi folks, Louis DeBrusque here. Remember when companies were actually local? It seems like those days are gone. Brands that used to be Canadian, bought out, moved out, sold out, but not Billy Mechanical. Proudly local, Billy is your go-to for heating, air conditioning, and water treatment. Built on real community values. For quality, they trust Napoleon, a Canadian brand playing hard in the corners and getting the job done. Support local. Support Canadian. Call today or visit BillyMechanical.com. That's BILLE.
You're listening to 4 Nations Face-Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 CHED. Proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Canada leads Sweden by a score of 3-1. Game 1 of the 4 Nations Face-Off. Hello again, everybody. I'm Steve Cooley. It's with Anthony Stewart, Scott Laughlin, and the rest of our Sirius XM crew. We're excited to bring you 4 Nations Face-Off action. Shea Theodore got x-rays during the second period. We saw him down to 5 defensemen, and you cannot replace him. So if he's out, Canada has 6 defensemen. Stewie, that's how it works.
Yes, and, that's an opportunity for, who's that, Noah Hannafin possibly?
Travis Sanheim.
Travis Sanheim, excuse me, to come back in. And but again, I think it's going to be tough getting out of this game with only 5 defensemen right now, especially with Sweden really getting those pucks in, blocking shots. I'm sure Canada right now is going to probably be taking the scenic route to a lot of pucks because they don't want to go down any more players.
Early icing by Cale Makar. 11 seconds in. Swedes outshot Canada 9-7 in that period. They got a goal from Brodin. We talked to Lucas Raymond, who set it up. It was a big period for Victor Hedman, who's on again right now. I'd like to see more from William Nylander, my friend. This is a time for an 88 goal for Trey Kroner.
Yeah, I can understand that. But this line with Raquel and Zibanejad have probably been the most effective line for Sweden. And you know him. He can be quiet until he's the loudest in the room. So, yes, they need him in this third period. But we know he's a game breaker.
He's got it now. Chips it over to Brodin in his own zone. Right wing side in front of the Sweden bench for Raquel. He gets it into Zibanejad, who negates the icing. He's got a spring in his step here to start the period. Hedman with a shot whistled wide to the near side. Puck in the far corner for Devon Taves. Reverse near side to Colton Parayko, and out comes Stone to center. Goes off the linesman, so he gets it back again. Throws it into the corner for Sam Reinhart. He's had a quiet 2 periods so far. McDavid is not, as he gets it back to Parayko with a shot through the Reinhart screen, and a nice save by Philip Gustafsson as he hangs on.
Yeah, great shot by McDavid there. Just, again, finding ways to get involved with the game. But most importantly, great job by Reinhart being in front of the net. Those are the types of goals that are going to be going in the third period of the finals. It's not just going to be off the rush, pretty goals. Great job by Reinhart getting to the top of the goal mouth.
Sidney Crosby with 2 first assists, one on the power play and one on the play to Mark Stone. So there he is at 37, and for those who are wondering, well, even if he is hurt, misses the tournament, there's other players. Well, just think where Team Canada would be in this game without number 87. As 97 throws it back behind the net, comes out the near side for Marner. He gets a second crack at it as it bounces to McDavid in the right wing circle. Back to Parayko, right point. Left side for Morrissey with a shot. Goes off a leg and just dribbles wide. Cleared to the line and back to center ice. Played 90 seconds here in period number 3. Tomorrow, Finns and USA. Game 2 as we've got best on best action. The city alive. And what a great pregame ceremony. Great to see. 66, Mario Lemieux, my friend.
My favorite player next to Matt Sundin growing up.
Brandon Hagel chasing down the loose puck. Carlson tries to get it to the near side and does for Adrian Kempe. 602 games, all with the LA Kings. Scored 35, 41, and 28 goals over the last 3 years, and they score! Guess who? That's right. We've got a game again as the Swedes close the gap. It's now a 3-2 affair.
And this shot caught Binnington a little bit off guard here, almost handcuffed him. And we talked about Sweden, just the volume, put pucks on net. Binnington has been known to sort of get caught off guard or get surprised by some shots. Kempe comes in 1-on-2, just throws it there, and it looks like it just slid maybe under that blocker. So young kids out there, put it on net, little drag and shoot. We have a 3-2 game, 2 minutes into this third period.
How would you classify that goal, Mr. Anthony Stewart?
Soft. But again, it's early in the tournament, right? There's a lot of nerves, right? There's the atmosphere all around. But Binnington, I'm sure, would like to have that one back.
Fiala or Kempe buries that one to make it a 3-2 game as back comes Forsberg the other way. Forsberg with a shot looking short side. Ricochets all the way back to the left point for Matthias Ekholm. Back behind the net. In after it is Victor Hedman pinching down the boards. And back on the ice is Kempe filling in for the captain who's been all over it here for the Swedes. Strum along the far boards. Marchand pokes it to Makar. Goes back behind his own net. Approaching the 3-minute mark here of the third period of a 3-2 game now. Canada led 2-0. Swedes made it 2-1 on the Brodin goal. Stone from Crosby 3-2. And Kempe from Carlson. And Matthias Ekholm, who's also had a strong game for the Swedes. And if you're just joining us, Shea Theodore hurt in the second period. He's gone for x-rays, will not return, and if he's out for the tournament, will not be replaced. So Travis Sanheim of the Flyers looks like he'll get some action. Crosby behind the net. Bumped off the puck, comes to Lindholm, who pokes it to Hedman in his own zone and just dumps it out to center. Team Canada shoots it back in again. Brodin at center. looking for Arvidsson near side, who goes and gives chase, but I think that play was offside at the Team Canada line. We got a stoppage with 16:24 to go.
I'm not saying that goal is a backbreaker, but it just sort of took the energy out of the building as you see Binnington sort of talking to himself, saying, hey, you know what, I got to find a way to hit the reset here. You know, you can see his eyes almost looking down, knowing that he should have had that. So let's see how he responds. It's not about the mistake, it's how you respond after the mistake. I'm going to be looking in on how Binnington finishes out this period.
Well, we've talked about Hill, Binnington, and Montembeault as it compares to, obviously, Logan Thompson, Mackenzie Blackwood, and Darcy Kemper. As it relates to the underlying numbers, the traditional stats, 902 is the league average save percentage, and Jordan Binnington is a few notches below that. As Nylander has the puck, left wing circle, rink wide for Dahlin with a shot. Blocked by Reinhart. That's his second big block of the game as McDavid has it and starts out. McDavid to Mitch Marner. Right wing side. Tries to feed McDavid. Play broken up by his Leaf teammate William Nylander. It's been a quiet night for 16 in red.
He's fine. I'm noticing little stick checks coming in, having good gaps, finishing checks. You know, he's too good of a player to be off the score sheet that much longer.
Hagel in after it. Bumps Forsling. 2 yellow, 2 red. Scrum along the near boards. Hagel gets it, shovels it behind the net. Konechny pinching down the left wing boards. Can't get it. Lucas Raymond does. Gets it out the first time, but not the second time. In after it is Cirelli. He's got Konechny in front of the net, but Lucas Raymond made up for his mistake.
Yes, great job on the forecheck there. Dog on a bone mentality, getting it on the forecheck, having good sticks and lanes, turning pucks over.
Konechny behind the net, looking there for Cirelli. Broken up by Lucas Raymond again, and the puck does indeed come out to center, but a good energy shift from the fourth line right there.
And that's what you need. You lose momentum on Sweden scoring that second goal, and you got to take it back shift by shift. Little details like finishing your checks, getting to the net as he tried to slow down Sweden's comeback.
Puck comes to the near side. Looking for Adrian Kempe there. Was Ekholm, but it was broken up by Marchand, and Team Canada comes back in offside as the Marchand line, who's played well tonight, trying to build on that excellent shift by the fourth line.
Yeah, just going back to that momentum conversation, and sometimes when a squeaker goes in, it sort of gets everybody a little bit down. So you find a way to get that momentum back by just getting back to those fundamentals, getting back to the basics, winning your wall plays, getting pucks on nets. I know it sounds simple, Cooley, but if I'm John Cooper, I'm preaching those little details as you try to close this game out.
Center off face-off, won by McKinnon to Parayko. Throws it into the Swedish zone. Hedman can't get it out. Back behind the net. Hedman and Crosby at it. Hedman chips it to Forsberg, who sends a flip pass down the ice to Adrian Kempe, who scored that goal from well out to make it a 3-2 game. Back comes McKinnon starting out. Stops through center. Fans on it just over the red line. And Victor Arvidsson with speed brings it in. Takes a check from Morrissey. Gets it rink wide to Hedman in front of the net, looking for the stick of Lindholm. Couldn't find him. Nyquist keeps it in, throws it behind the net, but it bounces to Parayko. He's got no play. There's the high flip again. As the Swedes came that close to tying the hockey game. Long lead feed, no icing on the play. Binnington with a big save on Arvidsson. Canada thought an icing was coming up, but not to be, as Marner couldn't handle that pass the other way. McCarr tries to get it rink wide for Reinhart. Broken up by the Swedes, and back comes Lindholm. His shot goes off a stick into the corner. Nyquist near side, fires it behind the net, out the other side to Ekholm. Behind the net to Ricard Cal. He loses it to McDavid, who's back with speed. Chips it to himself. Working on Ekholm. His Oiler teammate, wrap around. And McDavid with great speed there, but he couldn't put it in.
Almost broke his teammate's ankle there. As he got a step on him, just lost his balance trying to get that puck on net there for Gustafsson making the save.
McDavid does have a point in the game on the power play, but couldn't make it 4-2. We've got a stoppage. Canada leads 3-2. Listening to the 4Nations Face-Off live on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
CHED Edmonton. On and off the ice, your official home of Oilers hockey. 880 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
XL Furniture's at 11349 95th Street, serving Edmonton an area for over 70 years. And right now, if you want to place an order for a new dining room suite in time for Easter family entertaining, you have to order right now. Correct, Al?
Absolutely. Get your orders in for Burmix and for Handstone. These are solid wood, Canadian-made dining room suites, spectacular comfort and quality. If you get your orders in by the 15th, we'll have your order in time for Easter entertaining.
So we talk about Handstone. As you say, this is beautiful, custom-made furniture, and it almost seems like it's made by hand. It's so well done.
It is. It's made by the Mennonite community in Southern Ontario. Terrific quality, available in lots of different style genres, the contemporary, the rustic looks, and everything between. Many different wood styles, and of course, lots of finishes. Mix and match tables and chairs.
So if you're looking for the warmth of wood for your home decor in time for Easter, you'd better act now. Drop in and see us at XL Furniture. Remember, 0% financing for 1 year on approval of credit. Check out the furniture right now at XL 11349 95th Street.
Home Network is here.
We are so lucky to be a part of this.
Every Thursday, watch heartwarming programs like an all-new Extreme Makeover Home Edition at 8.
We have 96 hours to build a house.
And Honest Renovations, starring Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis at 9.
Changing these homes, we can change families.
There's no place like it. Home Network. Stream on Stack TV.
Brought to you by Pet Value, where love makes every pet feel at home.
Experience the breathtaking journey of nature's most resilient travelers, butterflies. Don't miss Butterfly Journey in IMAX at TELUS World of Science Edmonton. Take flight with the butterflies and get your tickets today at telusworldofscienceedmonton.ca.
You're listening to 4Nations Face Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 CHED, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Center in Montreal. Team Canada leads the Swedes 3-2. Adrian Kempe just scoring moments ago. Face off to the right of Gustafsson, controlled by the Swedes. Hedman near side to Jesper Bratt. Starting out through center. Gains the red line, dumps it into the far corner for Lucas Raymond. Puck comes to Mitch Marner, to McDavid, rink wide here for Drew Doughty. Kings veteran defenseman sends it towards the net. It goes off Hedman over the glass and into the netting.
Yeah, Doughty's been noticeable this game. 12 and a half minutes through 2 periods. He seems like he's jumping up in the rush. No real ill effects from that injury that kept him out majority of the season. So great addition so far. But if I'm Sweden now with only 5 defense corps for Team Canada, I got to find a way, even though it's not in our natural ilk to play that physical game. I'm taking a lot of shots. I'm getting a lot of volume, getting it on the forecheck, trying to get heavy and tire out this Canada defense.
Face-off controlled by Team Canada. Won by McKinnon, back to Taves. His shot easily gloved by Gustafsson. Will hang on. Well, 5 defensemen. I've never heard a defenseman complain about more ice time. So Sanheim, 7th defenseman, maybe the 6th against the USA. And Bennett is the other scratch. That's it. As injuries go down, you don't add anybody. The roster gets depleted.
But you also have 2 thoroughbreds in Devin Taves and Cale Makar, who look to get close to probably 23, 24 minutes tonight.
William Nylander slides it into the left wing corner. Swedes go in after it. Forsberg far corner gets it to Elias Pettersson. He's there with Forsberg. Wins the battle, but sends it back to the point, right through everybody. Forsling and Hedman, and it goes all the way back down to Gustafsson. We're at the 8-minute mark here in period number 3. Swedes with an early goal to make it a 3-2 game. There's a little physicality there. Brandon Hagel knocks down his man at center ice, Philip Forsberg. And here's Forsling with it again. He and Hedman are going to be well over 20, 22, 25 as that puck bounces off the side of the net. Comes to Hagel, who skates it through center, chips it in. Cirelli and Hagel going after it. Boy, the effort on this group here, 71 and 38 are all over it, but it's Zibanejad who brings it back to Raquel, who backhands it wide to the far side. That shot by Carlson, blocked by Josh Morrissey. Morrissey getting tangled up with Raquel in the far corner. Comes into the slot where Parayko has it on the center breakout and slides it down the ice. Will this curling shot make it? No. Icing is coming up.
And you see the Sweden team really making a push and activating. You're seeing Ekholm down low, really trying to make something happen. And you made a perfect point, Cooley, in the first period, talking about how important it is to get those 3 points and not have it go into overtime. And they're really not really resting on their laurels. They're trying to come back early in this period.
So caught on the ice, Cirelli, Konechny, and Hagel, the fourth line with Parayko and Morrissey. Warning issued to Joel Eriksson Ek. Draw to the right of Binnington. Swedes win the draw. Comes to Lucas Raymond. He's got time and space in the high slot. Near side to Jesper Bratt in front. They score! Back door! Joel Eriksson Ek wins the draw. Finishes the play. And this game is tied at 3.
Great puck movement by Team Sweden, and then that's what they're known about. They're one of the elite passing teams. They have a lot of chemistry, and great job, and it starts with that face-off. A little bit of a set play here. Come over the top by Raymond. What does he do? Fakes the shot, passes it down, backdoor pass to Eriksson Ek to get his first of the tournament. And Eriksson Ek, he's been pretty quiet this game, but make no mistake, he scored 30 goals in the National Hockey League. That one's going in 10 times out of 10. Binnington got caught out of position there. He couldn't really recover. 3-3 game now with 11 minutes left in this third period.
Well, that's the Ken Holland rule with Colin Campbell. Ice the puck, can't change. Tired bodies could cost you, and it did there as Jesper Bratt brings the play back in over the line. But that's offside. Mark Stone makes it 3-1 late in the second. 2 goals here. Adrian Kempe and Joel Eriksson Ek have this game tied at 3, Stewie.
Yes, they must have been drinking some extra body armor in that second intermission as they came out flying to start this third period. And for me with Binnington, it's not necessarily the quality of the save, it's the timing of the save. And I know he got caught out of position there and didn't really have an opportunity, but for me in a tournament like this, I need to have him make a save to keep that a 3-2 game. So again, he's been sort of a little bit choppy through 2.5 periods here. We'll see how he responds as there's still majority of this third period left.
Lucas Raymond has 2 assists in the game. Young star of the Detroit Red Wings as McDavid has it in the far corner. Bodied off the puck by Joel Eriksson Ek. Comes to Lucas Raymond, who flips it out. Safe play. Quick up to Marner. He taps it for McDavid, but they rule the pass that came from Parayko was offside, so the faceoff will be back in the Team Canada zone. Almost sprung Connor McDavid.
Yes, Mitch Marner there getting a stick on that, almost springing Connor McDavid. And again, that's what Marner, he's been fairly quiet, but all he needs is that half a step or that little space to make a play as they look to now take over this game. McDavid's been noticeable, but some of these other forwards with this game on the line, I feel, need to step up as Canada looks like they're running out of a little bit of gas. With still 10 minutes to go as Sweden's continuing to make a big push.
Elias Pettersson on the draw, trying to win it to Nylander. They do win the draw. Comes back to the left point for Forsling. Shot blocked by Stone, and then ricochets over the glass and out of play. 10-14 to go. A 3-1 third period lead squandered by Team Canada. 3-2 Adrian Kempe. Not a good goal. Although the 3-3 goal there by Joel Eriksson Ek was a beautiful passing play. Jesper Bratt with a great first assist.
Yes, great job, especially by Raymond there, faking the shot, making the pass downhill, who makes a backdoor pass to Eriksson Ek.
Puck comes to Stone in his own zone, rink wide, looking for Crosby. Morrissey backing up the play. Cross-corner dump into the near side. Stone in after it. Under 10 to go now in the third period with 3-on-3 overtime. Perhaps 10 minutes debuting at this event. Here comes William Nylander dancing in down the left wing circle with a shot blocker saved by Jordan Binnington. Stone gets it up to Hagel, who's got some speed. Over to Cirelli and over the line. Cirelli deep in the right wing corner. Back to Makar. In tight. There's a shot by Devon Taves. Great play, Makar to his Avs teammate wearing number 5 at this event, but Gustafsson with the stop.
Dan, if you questioned if Canada was going to be on their heels now, make no mistake, they are an elite offensive team, especially on their back end, and great job by Makar hitting an activated Devon Toews, who almost gets the game go-ahead goal here, too. So, again, Canada needs to respond here. They need to play a little bit better to close out this period if they want to get the 3 points.
Swedes have taken over the game with that 2-1 goal. We're tied at 3. We're live from the Bell Center in Montreal on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 90.
A Tim's Donut and Coffee is the original collab. And now, any classic donut is $1 when you buy any size original or dark roast coffee. Get a deal on the iconic duo with a Tim's $1 donut. Plus tax at participating restaurants for limited time. Terms apply. See app for details.
It's time for Tim's. Remember the wise words, the life of the dead is placed in the memory of the living. I'm Sarah Bailey from Trinity Funeral Home. When the time comes to honor your loved one, opt for a personalized celebration of life package. This service, available at Trinity's convenient downtown facility, allows you to commemorate their precious life while surrounded by family and friends. Live streaming and full customization is available. Visit us online, check our reviews, and contact us today. Trinity Funeral Home, everything a funeral home should be.
My furnace is on its last legs. I need a new one, but the cost. And then there's the tax on top of it.
Romanuk Heating and Air Conditioning's got a great sale on, the Double Down event.
Double down?
Yeah, the initial idea was to take off the tax, but they thought they could do better. And now they're taking off double the tax on new heating and cooling, and even water heaters.
That's amazing.
Cozy up to Romanuk's Double Down event and let the pros in the green trucks save you big bucks.
I'm doubling down with Romanuk.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful when Mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. I wanted a better relationship with Dad, so I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I'm sure glad I did. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
Hey, Jordan from Sherlock Holmes here, inviting you to watch every Oilers game with us. Enjoy $6.75 sleeves of Molson Canadian, plus you could win tickets. Consider us your homes for hockey.
Sherlock Holmes, downtown, campus, Sherwood Park, North, and Duggan's Boundary.
You're listening to 4Nations Face-Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 Chad, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Off to the right of Philip Gustafsson, 3-3 under 10 to go. We can feel the anxiety in the building as Team Canada's blown a 3-1 lead. Talked about Jordan Binnington earlier, .897 save percentage this year. No fault on the 3-3 goal, the 3-2 from Adrian Kempe well out. And we've got a 3-3 game with the possibility of overtime. But here's Connor McDavid gathering speed through center, in over the line. McDavid leaves it for Devon Toews. Tries to feed Reinhart, doesn't work. Marner stumbles, still has it at the left point to McDavid in front of the net. Oh, what a save by Gustafsson on Devon Toews. Tic-tac-toe. No, that's his best save of the game.
I would not fault Gustafsson if that puck went in the net. Great vision by McDavid as he one-touches it to Devon Toews, who looks like he's had 2 or 3 scoring chances in the last 4 minutes.
McDavid with speed there, almost changed the game. Marner kept it in to make it happen, and Toews pinching in. What an opportunity, but that is elite goaltending as this shot from Hedman ricochets over top of the net. Back behind the net now for Ricard Raquel in front, looking for Zibanejad as we approach the 12-minute mark. 3-3 game. Buckle up, Stewie.
I'm excited here. I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat as we watch both teams treat chances. Like we talked about that heavyweight bout, everyone seems like they're swinging for the fences with 8 minutes left.
We're going to get another look here in the building at that save. Marner, McDavid, Toews. Wow. What a stop.
And it just shows when a goaltender just has that length that Gustafsson does. He looks like a young Pecorine back there, and just getting extension and almost reading that play as Devon Toews almost ices the game.
Puck is behind the Swedish net. Brandon Hagel in after it with Cirelli. They've been noticeable. Cirelli falls. Elias Pettersson takes it through center. Gives it to Nylander. Near side for Hedman. Broken up by Konechny. But a good play by the Canucks centerman to break it back up and let Hedman start out in his own zone. 7:35 to go, third period, 3-3 game. It was 3-1 Team Canada. The Swedes have scored twice in the third. Back comes Braden Point the other way. Point has Marchand in front of the net. Can't get him the puck. Makar with a chance stop. Marchand side of the net. He had an opportunity as well, as Marchand almost had his second of the game.
Makar as well, and he seems like he's been all over the ice. I've seen him probably 3 shifts in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Uh-oh.
Josh Morrissey got his stick up on Joel Eriksson Ek. Gordy Dwyer's looking right now, whether it's a 2 or a 4. Let's listen in.
High sticking.
2 minutes high sticking. The Swedes will go to the power play. Both penalties the same. A careless stick, this time Josh Morrissey. And oh yeah, that's a penalty. He caught a break that he got him shoulder and then visor.
And you definitely got to have discipline, especially in the third period. And I didn't want to jinx it, but I was asking, well, where's the penalty coming on Team Canada? And here you go, a couple minutes later after that thought. Sweden goes on the power play as they look to take the game lead with 7 minutes left. We were watching their morning skate today, and they got a lot of puck movement here. Look for them to try to find that bumper as they try to beat Binnington here to take the lead.
Joel Eriksson Ek on the draw with Zibanejad, Nylander, Raymond, and Hedman against Anthony Cirelli. Joel Eriksson Ek wins the draw. Nylander near corner to Lucas Raymond. Right wing circle. They worked the play into the middle for Eriksson Ek. Went off a stick. Kept in by Hedman. Behind the net for Zibanejad. Near side for Lucas Raymond. Back into the near corner for Mika Zibanejad. Raymond at the right point. Hedman up top. Hedman, one-timer shot blocked by Cirelli into the netting and out of play.
And that's why Cirelli's a Stanley Cup champion, putting his body on the line in front of Victor Hedman. And that's probably why I'm up here talking about that, because many times I was in the lane of that big shot. And let's just say I wasn't there by the time that puck came on net. So great job by Hedman, but an even better shot blocked by Cirelli to keep it 3-3.
28 seconds gone. In the minors, Cirelli and Hagel were looking at John Cooper. Obviously, their club team coach, he said, no, you guys are staying out there. Here's Nylander being checked by Taves, but it's kept in by Hedman at the far point. Throws it behind the net for Joel Eriksson Ek. The Wild Centers had a very good period and an excellent hockey game. Crowd shouting defense as Hagel comes away with it. Backhand flip down the ice, and now they'll change as 55 seconds gone in the man advantage.
Yeah, you see Mish Marchand and Marner over the boards here. 2 elite penalty killers. Well rested, see what they could do.
Carlson trying to go coast to coast with a shot. Binnington gets a glove on it. Fired around the boards and out to Marner. 2-on-2 with Marchand. Makar joining the rush shorthanded. Makar shot. Fires it high over the right, top right corner. Good shorthanded chance there, Stewie.
Yes, we talked about Marchand and Marner. They're not just sitting back in the pocket waiting. They're actually trying to make something happen as Marner almost finds Makar. Get a scoring opportunity that just missed over the net.
Makar breaks up that foray into the offensive zone, sends it down the ice with 40, or make that 20 seconds to go in the minor penalty. Clear to the line, but not out. Kept in by EK65. Far side for Elias Pettersson. Back to the left point. Good stick there by Jarvis as he races for the puck with Carlson. And this should do it for the minor penalty. So the Swedes get their power play. They're 0 for 1. Canada's 1 for 1. A big kill with 5 minutes to go in regulation.
Yes, and I wouldn't want to see this game won on a power play.
Uh-oh, here's an opportunity for Lindholm. He spins and can't get a shot away. McDavid to Reinhart through center. Chipping and chasing near corner. Reinhart in after it, but Victor Arvidsson comes away with the puck. Far side for Kempe. Into Forsling. There's a shot by Lindholm. Goes off a stick into the netting and out of play. with 4:35 to go in a 3-3 game. We're going to take a radio timeout. You're listening to the Four Nations Face-Off live from the Bell Center in Montreal on the Sirius XM NHL Network Radio Network. Stay with us.
Your support of Little Warriors changes lives.
Life's obstacles can easily snowball in our heads to the point where it nearly becomes impossible to comprehend. I was oblivious to the fact that my hardships were too significant to solve in one sitting. I pray everyone gets the attention and help they're worthy of, and I sincerely thank the Be Brave Ranch for showing me what true perseverance means.
Little Warriors, dedicated to awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. Donate today at littlewarriors.ca.
Ideas, issues, and opinions that matter from the home of talk radio in Edmonton. Shay Gannam on 880 CHAD.
Maybe you take 10% of that money that you just keep throwing into the bottomless pit of the healthcare system and say, okay, we're going to take some of that. We're going to champion companies that will change the way we do things. Doesn't that make good sense? Like trying something different instead of the same thing over and over and over and over just because it's politically expedient.
Every weekday from 9 to noon, Shay Gannam on 880 CHAD.
Macmillan Estate Planning is quite unique in its approach to estate planning. I'm very proud to say at Macmillan we've never built the same estate plan twice. We build a very customized and comprehensive plan for each family, and we are all unique. We've created our estates in different ways. We have different dynamics. We have different assets, so it would be impossible for each of us to have the same estate plan. But there's a number of other players that are associated with your estate plan. People like your accountants, your lawyers, your bankers, your financial planners, insurance agents, brokers. So because you have such a comprehensive team associated with your overall estate plan, what you do need is an architect. And that's what Macmillan is we're trusted estate practitioners that are the architect of ensuring that everybody is congruently responding to your goals and objectives and safeguarding your life's work. Register for our next complimentary webinar today. Macmillan Estate Planning, Safeguarding Significance.
You're listening to Four Nations Face-Off on the radio home of your Oilers. 880 CHAD, proudly sponsored by Reface Magic.
Welcome back to live action from the Bell Center in Montreal. 3-3 Team Canada and Sweden. Team Canada squandering a 3-1 third period lead. McDavid Zibanejad on the draw. McDavid wins it. McCarr near side for Marner. Whether he got a piece of it or not, it doesn't matter. He was on his side of center, so we'll do it all over again with 4:28 to go.
A great job by Connor McDavid, really bearing down on that face-off, and you know how important it is, especially at this point of the game, and Sweden scoring a goal off that face-off. Just shows what type of player McDavid is. Game breaker. See if he can win this one here as well.
Shots are even, 19-19, score 3-3. So do the math on the goalies. Not good save percentages as Mitch Marner can't get it out near side. Bennington leaves it for Devon Taves. He sends one down the ice that should go for another icing, and it does. The crowd doesn't like it, but it's the right call. And with 4:15 to go, we'll do it again. This is how the Swedes tied the game on an icing.
Yes, and it's equally important when you're building these lineups, you know, having centermen, guys that can play different positions and especially win faceoffs on both sides. We got Reinhart right now as he looks to capitalize on the faceoff department where I believe Canada has the slight edge.
Face off to the right of Binnington. Sam Reinhart on the draw. Wins it. McCarr tries to flip it out. It doesn't work, but doesn't matter. McDavid skates it out. Chips it in. Marner gives chase as the lone forward. And Canada changes on the fly. Here's McKinnon in the slot. Nice stick check by Forsberg to knock it out to center. Under 4 to go now in period number 3. Game tied at 3. Mark Stone gets a skate on it, chips it over the glass and out of play. Face-off will be in the Swedish zone to the right of Philip Gustafson, who, boy, that save on Devon Toews right now is the best save of the game and maybe the most important.
Yes, that's the NHL Sirius XM 91 turning point. It looks like it could be. And we talked about how important these faceoffs are. Canada has the slight edge, 34-26, as we round out this game.
Swedes win that draw. Coming away with it is Forsling up to Jesper Bratt. He gets it in. Watching him is Colton Parayko. Puck fired to the far side where Mark Stone has it. Into Parayko. Skates it through center. In over the line. Dumps it into the far corner. He'll head to the bench with Josh Morrissey as Nate McKinnon and Crosby are in after it. Losing the puck on the far side is Lucas Raymond. He gets it back again just to get it out to center. Bit of a weird bobble there for number 23, who's had a great game.
Yes, puck seems like it's been bouncing through that neutral zone. We got to get a little bit more ice on those pucks. Please and thank you, management.
We're approaching the 17-minute mark here, period number 3. Swedes now trying to take this one into overtime or pull off a 3-goal third and get 3 points. Remember, 3 for a regulation win. Puck is kept in by Toews at the far side. He gets it into the far corner. Backing him up on the play is Braden Point, but it does come out to center as he is watched there by Adrian Kempe, who scored the 3-2 goal, but turned this game on its ear. Here comes Team Canada through center. Marner, McDavid with speed, surrounded by 4 Swedes. Chips it into the near corner. Marner couldn't get it behind the net. Getting it now is Sam Reinhart. Back to the point to Morrissey with a shot. Hits a stick and goes wide. Makar pinches in. Far corner for Sam Reinhart. Leaves it for McDavid. Back behind the net to Mitch Marner. The cycle game working here for this line. Reinhart being watched by Brodin. Gets it to Marner. Back to Reinhart with a shot. And Gustafson looked behind him as he held the post. The key is it stayed out.
Yes, and a big save on Reinhart there, as that's sort of his bread and butter, scoring close to probably 90 goals over the last season and a half, just over that. You know, he's used to roofing that, but just shows the size and length of Gustafson as he holds that post to keep the game 3-3 with 2:02 to play.
Elias Lindholm on the draw against Sidney Crosby is taking draws on the left side. He loses it to Lindholm. Forsling behind his own net. Under 2 to go here. And as Danny Galvin would say at the forum, overtime is looming large.
Don't jinx it.
At the 4 Nations. Toews long feed looking for Makar. Went off a stick behind the net. Matthias Ekholm is there. Gets it to Lucas Raymond, who's getting tons of ice time, which is great news for the future of the Detroit Red Wings. Here's Ekholm behind the net, near side for Gustav Forsling. He just gets it out. Puck battle between Stone and Eriksson Ek, fired in by McKinnon. Under 90 to go in regulation. McDavid's line comes back out again. Elias Pettersson is out. His line for the Swedes. Ekholm through center to Pettersson with speed. In over the line, far side, centers it in front, looking for Forsberg. Steered aside by Binnington. Here's Nylander, watched by McDavid behind the net. To Hedman with a shot. Binnington got something on that one. Swedes pressing. Under a minute to go now in the third period. Here's Dahlin to the net, through a screen, and Binnington saw that. Forsberg almost got a stick on it, or the Swedes would have had their first lead of the game. Morrissey to Makar, starts out in his own zone, hits the center red line and fires it in. Braden Point in after it, far corner, being watched by his Tampa Bay Lightning teammate, Victor Hedman. Cirelli comes away with it to Parayko with a shot. Big save there by Philip Gustafson. Under 30 to go now. Cirelli with the Swedes changing on the fly, dumps it in. Hagel gets it to Point, spins away to get it to McKinnon. Left wing circle, throws it towards the net, broken up by Ekholm, and they just dump it to center ice.
Good speed by McKinnon there, but again, just a little bit of an area pass that just missed its mark by a couple feet.
Here's McKinnon, 6 seconds to go. A chance to win it late. He steered into the corner. Puck comes back to the point. And ladies and gentlemen, it didn't take long. Game 1 goes to a 10-minute or less sudden death overtime period. We're tied at 3. It's not a 2-1 tournament, my friend. We saw offense, whether it's the goaltending, whether it's the skill, or a bit of both.
And great response for the final 40 minutes by Team Sweden, getting back into this game down 2-0, down 3-1, and just finding a way. And the coach was talking about from Team Sweden, just the ability of their strength is coming in as playing as a unit, 5-man unit, and the team being the strength. Not one guy, not one individual, not one goaltender. It's the team as a whole. So they did a great job battling back to make it 3-3. On Canada's side, they came out like gangbusters, getting it on the forecheck, got the rink and the building into the game, and they just seem to run out of steam right now. And we talked about Theodore going down with x-rays with a lower body injury, a little bit more volume and time on ice for some of the other Canada defense. They just seem like they're just getting tired as a whole. So we'll see how they hold up going into overtime. But I'll tell you this, when you got McDavid, McCarr, you got McKinnon, you know, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, I'm liking Canada's chances going into this overtime period.
Well, the other side's going to talk about the play of Kempe, Eriksson Ek, Dahlin, and Hedman on the back end. We've seen Bratt dancing around. Obviously, William Nylander, Lucas Raymond. So I don't know how we get to 10 minutes without a goal. And you know what's going to happen? When we get back to the NHL, people are going to say, why don't we go to 10 minutes in regulation in the NHL?
Yeah, I think we've evolved past the point of games being decided on the shootout. And, with that extra 10 minutes, I want to see some more energy. I want to see some more high-octane offense. And in that 5 minutes, they play a little bit of a chess match there. Some teams saying, you know what, we're going to now try our chances to win it because we have some elite guys that are breakaway specialists. So we'll see how we go. Well, we got another year left before we renegotiate the CBA. I think we'll be in on those discussions. They'll be listening to our opinions, Cooley. But I'd love to see that 10 minutes, especially with some of the high-end talent that's budding in today's NHL.
McKinnon opened the scoring, 56 seconds in on the power play. Marchand made it 2-0 after one. Jonas Brodin from Raymond makes it a 2-1 game. Stone from Crosby, 3-1 going into the third. That should be 87% victory. No. Adrian Kempe, King's sniper, 3-2. And then Joel Eriksson Ek from Bratt and Raymond's got 2 points. Crosby's got 2 points. Stats don't matter now. We're going to 3-on-3 overtime at the 4Nations. Crosby and Joel Eriksson Ek. And Joel Eriksson Ek wins the draw. And here we go. Forsling went back behind his own net. Gets it up to Joel Eriksson Ek. He's on with Jesper Bratt, Marner, McCarr, and McDavid. Here's Bratt, Devils winger. At center. In over the line, right side. Stops up. Waits. Has Forsling back door. Gets it to Joel Eriksson Ek. Brad heads to the bench. Lucas Raymond comes on and he gets the puck. Marner watches Raymond, who once again retreats. This has got to be a strategy.
Yes. Team Sweden, team built on speed and gathering some speed in their zones. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to spring somebody.
Hedman to Nylander, being watched by Nate McKinnon. Forward playing defense. Nylander to Hedman up top. Swedes playing with so much more confidence after that first period. Nylander, left wing circle. Waiting, watched by Crosby. Man on man here. Puck is filtered toward the net. Binnington poke checks it away. An errant play by Lucas Raymond means Canada has possession in overtime. Nate McKinnon with speed. Crowd starting to roar. McKinnon in over the line. Chips to himself. That shot stopped by Gustafsson, and he'll hang on. The self-flip to to yourself, and McKinnon almost buried it.
Yes, how many times have we seen that play by Nathan McKinnon, gathering speed through the neutral zone, just his feet chugging, going 16 beats a minute. Nice little pass to himself there. Almost got it between the wickets of Gustafsson to win the game there, but McKinnon, one-man highlight reel as he goes through all three Sweden defenders.
Point, Stone, Morrissey, Zibanejad, Ricard Raquel, and Gustav Forsling on again. Boy, oh boy. Face-off, controlled by Point. He lost the draw, but he's battling Forsling, who grabbed his stick. You can hear the reaction by the fans. They wanted a call. They won't get one. Ricard Raquel. Pittsburgh Penguin winger leaves it for Forsling. Once again behind the net. Tamika Zibanejad starting out through center. In over the line. Leaves it for Raquel. He gets by Stone. Rink wide. Oh, my God. What a save by Binnington on Zibanejad. That was the game.
Great response by Jordan Binnington, talking about not the quality of the save, which was amazing, the timing in overtime. Great little toe drag by Raquel. And feeding it over to Zibanejad, who almost iced the game there, but Binnington stops it to keep it 3-3 with 8 minutes left to go in this overtime period.
Elias Pettersson on the draw with Adrian Kempe and Victor Hedman. McKinnon, McDavid, and Makar. McKinnon, McDavid, and Makar. Face off to the right of Binnington.
Saw this in a dream once there, Cooler.
Well, it'll be a dream if Team Canada wins, a nightmare if they don't. Makar to McDavid with speed. He's one-on-one against Hedman. Elects to pull back. Little delay. Leaves it for McKinnon. Right in on goal. And there's another save by Philip Gustafsson. McKinnon's second straight shot in 30 seconds. He thought it might have trickled in, but he got his left pad on it.
Yeah, great job by McDavid, coming in, pulling up, did a little role play, drop pass to McKinnon coming downhill. And look how he just accelerates as he has the puck at a standstill, then boom, accelerates, gets the shot off. And Gustafsson, he's talked about the save by Binnington a few moments ago. Gustafsson's dialed in where it looks like it's going to take the perfect shot to beat him as he wants this win badly.
Nylander against McDavid. McDavid wins the draw, but Forsberg was almost sprung. That's the danger or the advantage of 3-on-3. He could win a draw, but if Forsberg got to it first, he was gone.
Yes, and he's got great speed there. We've seen him many breakaways over the years in the NHL.
Here comes McKinnon gathering speed through center, working on Hedman. McKinnon, shot right on, pad save. 3 straight opportunities for McKinnon. He's got to go to the bench, and almost a breakaway feed for Nylander is picked off by Brandon Hagel to Cale Makar. Cale Makar, stop, rebound, comes to Hagel, near corner, back to the point to McDavid. Taves comes on from the bench. McDavid goes off. We've played 3 minutes. How do you like it so far?
I'm standing.
Here's Hagel. Shot. Shoulder save by Philip Gustafsson. Hagel, his pass almost picked off by Forsberg again. Gets it over to Taves. Rink wide. But a bad pass to Cirelli, or he had a one-timer.
Just off the mark. And we talk about a game of inches, off about a half a foot for the one-timer there to ice it.
Devon Taves in his own zone. Watched by Jesper Bratt. Gets it to Mitch Marner, his first overtime shift. The Leaf winger in over the line. Marner, he had point, didn't want to pass it. Still has it. Marner, waiting, still has it. Leaves it for Morrissey. Back to Marner, right wing circle. Marner shot, save. Rebound in front. Loose puck. Marner's in the crease. And Gustafsson covers up. We've played almost 4 minutes of 3-on-3. Oh, baby, as Bob Cole would say.
Great patience by Mitch Marner, where you saw the whole entire building yelling at him to shoot the puck, but it just seems Gustafsson, he's looking like he's 6'6", 250 pounds there. That puck just seems like it's just hitting him in the pads. He's calm, cool, collected, fronting the pucks as he's keeping the Sweden team in the game in overtime.
Here comes the 3Ms, Makar, McKinnon, and McDavid. Faceoff was controlled by Team Canada, but Makar wanted to settle the puck down, so he brings it back in his own zone. Leaves it for McKinnon, who's had a very good game, been very noticeable in this extra session. He doesn't like what he sees on the zone entry, so he peels back, and he does it again. Now he gains the zone. And over the line, McKinnon working on Zibanejad. He attacked his triangle, but he couldn't get a shot away. Back comes Matthias Ekholm, watched by McDavid. 2-on-1. Ekholm has a man in front of the net, and it's loose. Where is it? It's a 3-on-1 for Canada. We poke it back. McKinnon in over the line. Has McDavid. McKinnon stopped by Gustafsson. Oh, my goodness. End-to-end action. Zibanejad the other way. Slap shot, fires it high and wide, and it ricochets back to center. McKinnon couldn't get it to McDavid.
Scoring chance, I think 6-2 for Canada.
Adrian Kempe with a shot, then gets his own rebound and sends it back to center. Near side for Pedersen to Forsling. Back to Pedersen. He fanned on it. 5 minutes into the overtime. Forsling with a shot. Makar breaks his stick. Makar has no stick. Forsling in front of the net. Binnington a big save. Hagel comes away with it now. He spins away from his man. Makar dying to get to the bench. Brandon Hagel in over the line. Still has it. Stops. Curls and takes it out smartly so they can get a change.
It's almost like a video game, Cooler. Just the amount of talent. The big saves. Like, I'm surprised they didn't charge us to come and watch this tonight.
Easy now. Crosby over to Josh Morrissey. Fans they're cheering Crosby's name. Crosby in the corner. Gets it in front. Picked off, and the Swedes have a 2-on-1. Brad and Nylander. Marner's the defenseman. Brad, Nylander, and it ribbled off his stick. Crosby has it going back the other way. Marner is tired. Crosby sends it back for Marner with speed. He doesn't go to the bench. Marner scores! Mitch Marner scores the goal. Canada draws first blood.
And Cooley, you were asking, where was Mitch Marner? And there he is as he ices this game. Another elite play by Sidney Crosby as he comes in on the entry again. Delays, kicks it back to Marner coming downhill with speed through the neutral zone, inside, outside. And he puts it home through Gustafsson. And we talked about it being a perfect shot that needed to beat him to ice this game. Great job by Mitch Marner. Even better pass by Crosby. Marner comes in 1-on-3. Boom, picks that corner. But amazing job. And for me, both stars of the game had to be the goaltending. You saw Binnington let in a couple that he probably wanted back. Gustafsson was dialed in the whole entire game as well. Amazing job by Canada as they draw first blood in this tournament.
Mitch Marner thought about going off, and then he got his second wind, and Marner was working on Erik Karlsson, and that goal wouldn't have happened 5-on-5. You know why?
Why's that?
Look at the time on the clock. We would be into a shootout. So because there's 3:54 on the clock, obviously the goal's at 6:06, and Team Canada wins, but they get 2 points, not 3. So the Finns in U.S. in theory should be happy, and at least the fans here are happy because Canada did not blow a 3-1 lead and get nothing, and that was Crosby that sent it back out. He was not on the ice for the game-winning goal.
And great resiliency and, just on-ice awareness. As he sent that puck back, I was thinking maybe he was going to be offside, but he found a way to jump off as Marner came downhill. And we talk about best-on-best tournament, seeing Crosby still perform at a high level, as he closes in on age 40. Amazing to see. I talked to him before the game today, and he looks like he did as he was at 18 years old as I played with him at the junior. So amazing job by Canada. They don't say how, they say how many as they get their first win of the tournament.
Could you believe Cale Makar broke his stick? He was dying to get off the ice. I think what Brandon Hagel did, that's hockey sense. That's hockey sense. He didn't panic. He got it out. He gained the zone and allowed the possession to never change. That could have been the game right there. Nylander had a great chance as well.
Oh, yes, and Binnington, we're going to go over the video, I'm sure, down the line, and he's going to want a couple of those goals back, so I'm sure, he was out of position, but he is a true competitor, and he understands. He is his number one critic out there, and he said, you know what, this game is on the line, and when it matters most, that's when I'm going to step up, and he did that when he won the Stanley Cup a few years ago with the St. Louis Blues. He is a gamer, and he shows up when it matters most.
3 assists for Sidney Crosby. 3 assists. Set up Marner as he left the ice because he knew he was at the end of a shift, and it's about possession and control. At 37, wow. At this level, Sidney Crosby, 3 points in game 1.
And Cools, does he look like he lost a step? Like he still has the speed. but he has the vision. He still has the patience, and I'm most surprised by that in today's game where it's evolved so much. We're not just the speed, but the quickness. So for him not just to survive and thrive in today's game, I'm definitely amazed. As I sit here just turning 40 years old, and you could have paid me $5 million to come play here. So great job by Crosby. Amazing as he gets the MVP here, Cooley. Who else would you pick for Canada? Nobody.
And Vincent Damphousse is the one. Former Hab and Oiler and Leaf. Great. And the crowd is shouting Crosby. And for those who talk about a decline, yeah, okay, he's not going to get 66 goals and 132 points. But think about it for a moment. If that play with Hughes and Holla knocked him out of the tournament, you're telling me Canada wins a game like this? No. They're 0-1, my friend, and a nation weeps. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. Well, we wondered when the Ole Oles would come out. They have. Canada up 3-1. Swedes, gutsy, come back and tie it. Almost win it in regulation. Almost win it in overtime. Jordan Binnington with his best save of the hockey game. And then in overtime, Mitch Marner buries it far side on Philip Gustafsson. Canada has 2 points. Sweden has 1. Finland, USA play tomorrow, and I think those two teams are happy that they get a pre-scout, and they know whoever wins in regulation would be in first place. Stewie.
Great performance, right? And it's come as advertised, where this is the best of the best, and the stars are elevating when it matters most. And Sidney Crosby, well-deserved, getting first star of the game as he had his 3 assists. Mitch Marner, we were discussing him, just about his play, and I said all he needs is a step and an opportunity, and he's elevated. He's elevated when the time is called upon the whole entire season as he sits top 5 in goal scoring. And we're not going to get into the politics of his contract status and all that, but he is a world-class player, and he showed that tonight as he scores the game winner.
Well, here's another world-class player, Stanley Cup champion, one of the best defensive and offensive forwards, of course, in the NHL. He's having a great year this year. Captain of the Vegas Golden Knights and a member of Team Canada, Mark Stone. Mark, wow. I say Sidney Crosby. What do you say?
Just a legend of the game, right? When you need a big play, he gets it done for you. So has that calming presence to him. Obviously, that game got a little closer than we wanted to when we had the 3-1 lead. But a guy like Sid can just calm the game, calm the nerves for the guys on the bench, and he makes 3 unbelievable plays to help us get that win.
Yeah, Mark, take us back to your goal there on Crosby there as he enters the zone and he delays. Did you know he was waiting for you to sort of catch up and get to the slot there? Did you read off that?
Yeah, I know it's interesting. He's playing a little bit of wing, right? So we've been making some plays, and he's kind of stretching the zone. There were some plays where you really see the the strength and that he has. I mean, he's just fends off guys, and I think actually not being the fastest guy actually helped me a little bit there. He was able to pull up, draw 3-4 guys to him. That's what the best players in the league do, and he just found me coming right down Main Street.
Mark, what do you think you learned from this game? Both some good and maybe some bad with the 3-1 lead squandered.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have come out better, right? We were flying, and it kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit. But you know what? They, Sweden's got great players. And they got a great defensive core. They got some guys that just play the game the right way. So we knew that they were going to push. Obviously, we didn't want to, get that game to overtime. But there were some good things that came from it, right? We had a good penalty kill. We might have that going forward in this tournament. It was a huge kill for us at a big time, and you never know when you're going to play a little bit of 3-on-3 too. So that's I liked what we had in the 3-on-3. Those guys are pretty fun to watch.
You're in the Western Conference, so you get to see Jordan Binnington on a pretty regular basis. And tonight I don't think it wasn't necessarily his best night, but what you see is he is a competitor and he steps up when the moment matters most. How big was his overtime in getting you guys the win?
Yeah, he made 2 or 3 huge saves for us, right? made the one, I think it was Zibanejad, kind of fanning out. He made a huge save there. He plays the puck so well, too. He helps out our D. Another thing, we went down to 5D, so we had some guys playing some big minutes. Benner, he's a gamer. Gives you a chance to win. That's all you can ask for a goal.
Well, we hope the news is good for Shea Theodore for obvious reasons. I don't think you'd ever thought you'd love to hear ole, ole, ole at the Bell Center mark, but you did, and you hope to hear it again Saturday night. Congrats on the goal, congrats on the win, and thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Mark Stone, what a goal he scored, and at that point, I'll be honest with you, who doesn't think when you're up 3-1 going into the third that you probably win? The math helps you. The stats help you, the mindset, but no. Swedes had a terrible first and an outstanding third. At least they got a point, and they almost won it, Stu.
Yeah, we got to take those analytic glasses off, right? Because, again, you could throw those numbers out the window in a tournament like this, right, where those 3 points are very, very crucial, and teams aren't going to sit back. They're going to do what they can to take, control of the game or get back into the game. But remember, this is the best on best, and you're looking at teams that are bringing in 4 lines of high-quality players. All of these players are pretty much stars on their respective teams, and you're looking at the Swedish team with, Eriksson Ek and Raymond and Brad. Those guys are stars, on their Minnesota Wild, Detroit Red Wings, and New Jersey Devils teams. So all teams in this tournament have 4 lines that can play at a high level, and no lead is safe. But what protected this game was the goaltending when it was all said and done, and Binnington showed up when it mattered most. Gustafsson had an amazing game as well. And I've definitely been impressed. I'm ready to do another game right now. When's our next call here? I'm ready to go.
Tomorrow, we're going to go and have a hot water and lemon, my friend. What a showcase for 3-on-3, 10-minute overtime. 6:06 was the GWG. 6:06.
And I think what happens when you have 6:06, right, and you're now looking down your bench, you're like, you know what, we might not have an opportunity to win a game if we got to go to our third or fourth line. So we got to find a way to maybe stack a line back to back and try to get that win before you get to minute 7, 8, 9, or ultimately 10. So I like it. And, it was back and forth. There wasn't too many kickback plays or circle backs. Most teams are on their toes trying to get that win. For me, I'm definitely impressed, and it was definitely entertaining from up here.
Mitch Marner, the game-winning goal in overtime. Canada wins, gets 2 points. The Swedes get 1, and we're back here tomorrow for Finland, USA. But don't go anywhere, folks. Scotty Laughlin is coming in with the post-game show. All the analysis, all the sound, all the reaction. He's joined by Dennis Bernstein. Ole, ole, ole. We'll take the break. Scotty Laughlin is next.
880 Chad, the radio home of your Edmonton Oilers, is proud to bring you the 4 Nations face-off. Now, Team Canada versus Sweden.
TrueMed Clinic offers hyperbaric oxygen treatment and personalized IV therapy. Trusted in Edmonton since 2010, TrueMed's naturopathic doctors can customize an IV formula to meet patients' specific needs. In TrueMed's experience, IV therapy can have rapid results in a wide range of conditions and may enhance energy, mood, and immunity. Book a complimentary IV therapy consult today. Visit truemed.ca. That's TRUMED.ca.
What would $1 million mean to you? Adventure, peace of mind, or a dream come true? For the first time ever, the Big Brothers Big Sisters Dream Home Lottery Grand Prize is Winner's Choice. A $1.1 million dream home or $1 million cash. Final deadline to buy tickets is May 7th. Plus, add on win 50 tickets for another chance to win up to $1 million. Get your tickets today at bigbrothersdreamhome.org. Buy a ticket, help a child. License number 700931 and 700930. Prices in CAD. Tickets sold only within Alberta. Please play responsibly.
My furnace is on its last legs. I need a new one, but the cost. And then there's the tax on top of it.
Romanuk Heating and Air Conditioning's got a great sale on the Double Down event.
Double down?
Yeah. The initial idea was to take off the tax, but they thought they could do better. And now they're taking off double the tax on new heating and cooling, and even water heaters.
That's amazing.
Cozy up to Romanuk's Double Down event and let the pros in the green trucks save you big bucks.
I'm doubling down with Romanuk.
Pluto TV.
Let the games begin.
1, 2, 3.
Now, your sitcom fix. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
How do you watch these things?
It's educational, pig.
I like that.
That's marvelous.
Let's not waste this magic moment.
We should sign you up.
Relive the best of sitcoms.
And the best part is,
for free.
it's free.
And easy.
Now we got a party.
Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Thinking of renovating your bathroom shower? Discover Wet Wall by Wilson Art.
This revolutionary material transforms your space quicker, cheaper, and easier than traditional tiles. With its waterproof tongue and groove design, Wet Wall locks out water without messy grout.
Choose from stunning finishes that mimic marble, stone, or wood. All with antimicrobial protection to keep your bathroom clean.
Visit the Flowform PF showroom today or go to pfcustomcountertops.com to book a free in-home consultation.
Oh, what happened last night?
Waking up in your bed after drinking too much can be embarrassing.
Did I puke on the bar table?
But it is better than waking up in a jail cell.
$100 on pizza? I don't even see the box.
So no matter how many questionable decisions you make during a night out...
Oh no, I called her 8 times?
Don't make the decision to drink and drive.
Get it together, dude.
A message from Chorus Radio.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, caring is everything.
We had a really nice customer. He was getting old and he was getting a little bit dementia. And one day he had a pretty bad accident. He had no idea what had happened. So I came up with this bright idea to put a hidden kill switch. The radio would work, the wipers, but the starter wouldn't engage. And as the dementia got worse, he could go sit in his car and think he was driving. Really, he wasn't. And it was safe. Anyways, he was a nice little guy.
Cougar Paint and Collision. Our family helping your family.
The highest standards of broadcasting. It's what we strive for every minute of the day. To live up to your expectations is our goal, our obligation. And as members of the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council, our promise is to be accountable to you, our listeners. Have a comment to make about our programming? Visit cbsc.ca to find information on the council and its codes. A message from the Canadian Association of Broadcasters and 880 CHED.
Ideas, issues, and opinions that matter from the home of talk radio in Edmonton. Shay Gannam on 880 CHED.
Maybe you take 10% of that money that you just keep throwing into the bottomless pit of the healthcare system and say, okay, we're going to take some of that. We're going to champion companies that will change the way we do things. Doesn't that make good sense? Like trying something different instead of the same thing over and over and over and over just because it's politically expedient.
Every weekday from 9 to noon, Shay Gannam on 880 CHED.
This is Conversations with Ben O'Hara Byrne.
Ben is off. My name is Sid Smith. Bad Company, The Black Crowes, Mariah Carey, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper, Oasis, Chubby Checker. Throw Chubby Checker in there. They all have something.